Okay, guys, we are live. So for those listening at home, welcome to the Dungeon Musings YouTube channel. My name is Kevin Madison, and I'm going to be your friendly Spielmaster today, because today we are going to be playing for the first time the classic German role-playing game, The Dark Eye. I have my regular cover digest one, and I've got just in this week a special edition version. Full size. This is the 5th edition of the game, and it is the translation into English of the classic German RPG. Well, I don't really want to spend a lot of time talking about the game specifically or the history of the game, because there's, for one, I'm not equipped to be able to do that properly, and there are others who'd be more qualified. You can likely find better explanations on the channel, and we really want to get this game to the table. So let me introduce you to the players who are going to be playing today, and they'll tell you who they are playing today. First up, we've got Jeffrey.
Hey everybody, I'm Jeff, and I'm going to be playing Garen, the Blade Breaker. He is a bit of a scoundrel and a swordsman.
So here's the interesting thing, Jeff, about Garen, is if you look at his backstory, because these are all pre-gens the characters are playing, pre-gens from the books. Garen Bladebreaker. Bladebreaker is actually the name of the mercenary company he served with. He abandoned his family name when he became a mercenary and became Bladebreaker. But if you read the backstory, he actually had a bit of a tragic splitting of the ways with the Bladebreakers. So it's interesting that he has maintained that as his surname still, not gone back to the abandoned family name, and but still has kept himself away from the mercenary company. So Bladebreaker is actually a surname, yeah. Next up is John.
Hey everyone, I am John, and I'm playing Thalion. He is a guild mage, mostly utility caster. He knows a good number of fire spells, and he is free to travel about as he wants. He's a bit vain about his power, though. So
nice. And he is from the in the rulebook they call him Thalion of Kosh, or a Mage of Kosh. Kosh is a principality that is in the Midden Realm, the arguably most powerful empire in Aventuria, the continent where the Dark Eye is set. And last, but certainly not least, is our resident armor smith, Dave.
Everybody, I'm Dave, and I'm playing Eleni. She's a blessed one of Rondra, very paladin-y, and yeah, we're gonna take this for a spin.
Very nice. Now, one thing, I forgot to mention too, Dave, is that so each of the blessed ones, depending on their faith, has a bunch of favored skills. And what you can do is you can spend direct karma points to augment those specific skills by working miracles. And Rondra's favored skills, it may not surprise you to learn, are all close combat techniques, body control, feats of strength, religions, riding, self-control, and warfare. So if we need to look those up, we can, but I forgot to mention before we went live, you can spend 4 karma points to add +2 to the skill rating of a skill that is favored by your god. So that is something else you can do. So for those listening at home, it's the first time I'm running the Dark Eye, and the first time the players are playing the Dark Eye, so we are very likely to screw up a number of things in it. Apologies in advance for things we get wrong. I have endeavored to try and get as much right as I can. I'm also, so the setting itself, guys, you may not be familiar with this, but it's a setting that has evolved for about 30 years, a little more than 30 years over the course of players. They publish these monthly things or bi-monthly things called the Aventurian Journal, and it speaks to the developments in the setting, and it has evolved over the years, and the timeline has advanced, and it's through the input of players that stuff has happened. So it's similar. I mean, there's a lot of English language games that we know, like Forgotten Realms and whatnot, who have seen, or Dragonlance, have seen advancement, but those are driven more by the publishers than by the players. So it's an interesting idea that there's this massive, rich world that players over these years have developed. The setting itself is, you will recognize a lot of the things in here. There are elves, there are dwarves who look very much like the elves and dwarves in many of the settings we play with, or the other settings we play in, but the elves in particular are very different folk than the dwarves. Especially hill dwarves often live in communities with humans. Elves do too, but they are a very different species. One big part of the Dark Eye setting of Aventuria too is the wide variety of different human cultures that are occupying the continent as well. And there's a rich history behind all that stuff, but what it means is that there's a lot more texture as far as languages and development of different cultures and how they've influenced one another. So you can see where there are like bordering kingdoms and two very different cultures have sort of melded into a single one and become their own unique thing. Where our adventure takes place, I should say as well, for those listening at home, we are going to be starting off the Revelations from Heaven adventure. So if you are intending on playing that adventure, this session will contain spoilers for that. It is intended, the reason I selected that one is because it is written with new players and new GMs in mind. So guys, let me grab your tokens here. I'm going to bring you over to a map. So there's a neat online resource called the Aventuria map. And this is a little snippet I took from it. Now it is in German. They do have English language translations for a lot of things, and the names in some cases are very similar. This is where our adventure takes place, though. It is the Principality of Kosh, which is one of the northwestern regions in the Midden Realm, where you guys have most recently been, and I'd like you to consider how you guys all were adventuring together. But what I know is that in Koschim here, Koschim is one of the dwarven settlements in the Kosh Mountains. The Kosh Mountains have several dwarven communities, and Kosh has a number of interesting characteristics about them, but we're going to make some skill checks to see how much your characters know about Kosh in a moment. What I can tell you is that Koschheim has while the hill dwarves are quite common in the hills east of the Kosh Mountains and in Kosh, the principality itself, the forged dwarves and the ore dwarves are the ones that make up Koschim. Now, what you knew, Talion, is that there is a long history. Koschim was occupied by dwarves, but it was not founded by dwarves. It was humans. And there were some pretty magical secrets involved in it, involving demons and such in Koschim. So when they found that there was apparently someone who was involved in some kind of excavation in Koschheim, it may not surprise you to learn that the dwarves of Aventuria are also involved in mining, as they are in many other settings, the ore dwarves in particular. Someone dug something up and they needed someone who was an expert in order to assess it and determine what should be done with it. And Talion, you are one such expert. In addition to your training as a guild wizard, you also have extensive training in magic and magic lore. So it was something they invited you in. This was a challenging task in order to get up there, because traveling to the mountains, while Kosh is, as far as most things go, a relatively safe region, there's still wild animals, there's still trolls, there's still orcs lingering behind from the the orc storm that has come down not long ago. And Garen, you are the lone survivor, I believe, of an orc storm that led to the death of your family. When you were a child, you hid in a tree while everybody else died to orcs.
Yeah, right.
Whatever went on in Koschim, whatever adventures you guys had there, it is concluded. And you are now free to kind of go where you wanted to go. And what I'm going to assume is that you're not going to go back. Where you came from was a place called Vengenholm. And Vengenholm was the seat of the county of one of the areas here. But you know something you guys have not seen is that Angabar. Angabar has the main cathedral to one of the 12 gods. Faith in this setting is also kind of a product of history. if you ask anyone who's a member of the Empire or who is one of the blessed ones of the 12 gods, like Elwene, they'll tell you like, well, there's 12 gods, and there's also like 6 dragons, and there's a 12 numbers just really kind of fit. We're in the 12th age, so there are 12 fits as a number, but students of history might point out that, well, there wasn't always only 12 gods. And might also point out that there are other regions where there are other gods who respond to their blessed ones as well. But the 12 gods is the dominant religion, albeit expressed in different ways. For instance, the dwarves also worship Ingram. Ingram is one of the 12 gods. He is the god of crafting. He is called, I think it's Angram by the dwarves. Angrosh. They call Ingram Angrosh. It may not surprise you to learn that because there are so many hill dwarves that live in Kosh, Angbar, the cathedral for Ingram or Angrosh at Angabar, is the grandest and is the main center of that faith. Angbar is also a massive trade center, so for whatever reason, we'll assume that you guys, whether you're choosing to all end up going there, there is a way down from Kostrim that doesn't take it back through Vengenholm, but down through some of the mountain villages and so forth, down towards Overbar, I believe this is called. Overanger. You can get there and you can catch a ferry that'll take you down, and then you'll be able to travel on the road to Angabar. So, what your purpose is there? Perhaps someone at Costume, not surprisingly, they venerate Angrosh quite devoutly in the dwarven kingdom of Costume. So perhaps someone gave you an introduction there. I'll leave it to you to decide sort of what your reason for it is. But in any event, you're traveling. You guys have no horses. You have what money is listed on your character sheet, which is some silver thalers. The coins in Kosh are the similar to those used elsewhere in the Midden Realm. Those will be ducats, which are your gold coins. Thalers are your, or silver thalers are your silver coins. And I can't remember what the name of the bronze ones are. Yeah, here we go. Halers. Halers are your bronze coins. So, let's start off with some dice rolls. Let's get you guys rolling with this. Why doesn't everyone give us a religion check, please? And this will be with a bonus of 2.
So these are under skills, right, Kev?
Under skills, yeah. And I believe it's under knowledge, the subcategory. And when it prompts you for a modifier, you should somewhere be able to put in a 2.
Says difficulty.
Let's see here. I'm going to roll for...
Modify. Here we go. 2.
Did you find it? Yeah.
Wait, what? Oh.
Yeah, it's at the top left box where it says modifier, and just have to put a 2 in.
Yep.
Okay, yeah.
Nice. Okay, so we have 1, 2, and 1 modifier. All right. So those of you who have a 1, what you know is that Koshans mainly worship Ingram, aka Angrosh, Travia, who is the... Oh gosh, I actually don't remember who Travia is. And Parain. Parain is the god of like agriculture and the hearth and home, family. Travaine is the goddess of matrimony, hospitality, and loyalty. You got 2 levels, Talion. You know that the coexistence of humans and dwarves has led to an intermingling of their religions. Many Koshans refer to Angarim by his dwarven name Angrosh, and the hill dwarves are aware of the human god. That the humans say is the same, but the dwarves themselves refer to them as the Angrashim, the children of Angrosh. So they'll happily let humans say that there's this Ingram and they think it's the same god, but they know Angrosh is the father of the dwarves. So, but the hill dwarves and the humans in Kosh get along famously. Next, would you guys kindly give us a geography check with the same modifier, +2? Oof. All right, so Talion is the only one with successes here. That's 2 quality levels, nice. Kosh is a province of the Midden Realm, and the province lies west of Gareth. Gareth is the capital of the Midden Realm. It has not always been there, but for effectively the last 1,000 years or so, it has been the capital. Elwene, that is where you are from, and Garen, you have spent time there as well. Both of you are familiar with the massive metropolis that is Gareth. It's about, like, take the distance between that big lake that's there and the side here. If we went that distance to the east, that's where Gareth is. To give you a sense of how close Kosh is to kind of the center of Empire. And with the second one, the province lies west of Gareth, near the Kosh Mountains, for which it's named. There you can find the town of Furdock on the Great River, home of the famous Furdock Ale. Also, not for nothing, Drakensang, the 2 video games, are based in Furdock. That is where you go if you're playing those video games. The capital of Kosh is called Angabar. Next, would you guys give us another geography check? You know what? Actually, hold on. Talion, because you're from Kosh, I'm going to give you 1 more quality level.
Okay.
Kosh is nestled between Goretia, Almeida, North Marches, Andergast, and Griffonsford. Griffonsford and North Marches are north of here, and the North Marches is, I believe, actually where you're from, Garen. Your family's originally from there. It is one of the northern provinces that was most affected by the most recent orc storm. When the orcs came out of the Orklands and just fucking wiped out people.
Okay.
Go ahead and give us another geography check, please, guys, with another bonus of 2. 2 quality levels. Nice. Oof. Close. Now, I'm assuming that Elwene and Garen are not going to be spending fate points to re-roll these background rolls, especially when Talion is getting successes.
No.
Talion, what you would know about the mountain kingdoms is that humans and dwarves coexist peacefully in Kosh, and the hill dwarves live in their pleasant earthen homes along the valleys. Traditional dwarves, like ore dwarves or forge dwarves, live in the mines in their mountains. Koshchim is one such kingdom. There's a bunch of others down here, and then there's a whole bunch of other little kingdoms. There's also a subculture of dwarves called diamond dwarves, which are basically outcasts from a kingdom that fell to demons. Final one, guys. Would you guys give us an etiquette check with a bonus of 2?
Etiquette. Nice. Yeah, Dalian is always, he's highly curious and vain, so he shares, like, his wealth of knowledge just verbosely with them.
Sure.
Oh, man.
Modifier?
Well, really high.
Etiquette is under social skills.
What was the modifier, sorry?
2, please.
Hey, someone got it.
Nice. Elwyn's actually pretty good at etiquette.
That's why I made the Druid voice and said I got etiquette. Cause...
All right, so this is Elwyn who gets this. All right, so Elwyn, you got 2 quality levels too. Well done. Kosh is a principality of the Midden Realm. Its lord rules on behalf of the Empress. So there is currently an Empress who there was a in recent past, there was a massive dynastic crisis in addition to a bunch of other magical crises in the Midden Realm. It is currently stabilized with an Empress on the throne. And then the Lord of the Principality of Kosh, the Prince of Kosh, will be paying duty and homage back to the Empress. The Lord of Kosh is named Blasius of Borstem. He is jovial and popular with his subjects. The realm's courts owe fealty to him. And you would know, for instance, as well, Elwene, the county of Vengenholm is ruled by Count Yalak of Vengenholm. It's organized into 40 smaller sendhomes that have made pledges of mutual assistance. This setting is... there are some variety to it throughout the different places, but especially in the Midden Realm, is kind of feudalism top to bottom. So if you think of a traditional feudal society, this is very much what you get in Kosh. Now, guys, I have some more great news. You know what even German game designers indulge in?
Horror.
Block text. So. So let me first bring you over so you can situate yourself mentally in where you've been traveling through. I expect we're not going to, like, there are rules for it, but we're not going to bother making use of, like, you know, exhaustion or anything like that just yet. I got plenty of other ways to make your life, fun, not miserable. Did I say miserable? I'm certainly I didn't say miserable. Did you guys hear that? No. This is what I'd like you to picture as you're making your way through Kosh. And one of the neat things, too, with these mountain passes, you'll be alternating between the different places you're going. If it is a small enough village, there may be, like, a path that is wide enough for you to maybe fit a cart if there is regular trade. Otherwise, it's kind of like a trail that you're following to get through these different places. You can recognize it as a trail, and Garen, because of your nature skills, you're going to be able to recognize which one you're not going to get lost off the trail or anything like that. But it's really kind of rough in it. But every time you get close to a village, there's often a pleasant reminder that you are in the Principality of Kosh. And the further you get down the mountain, the more pleasant it is getting. You are making your way through picturesque Kosh, past lush meadows with contently grazing cows, and along narrow mountain paths lined with many herbs. You haven't seen other travelers for quite a while. Your only companions are a multitude of annoying gnats, which seem to prefer you over the local hairy mountain cows. The warming light of Prios' disk. Prios is the god of the sun and the kind of king of the gods. Also, the imperial faith is to Prios. Prios' disk pierces the lush trees of the forest as you step out into a glade, and you catch the whiff of blueberries. What do you think have you given any thought to what you guys are intending on doing once you get to a larger city? Are you intend on heading to Angrad? Or the, whatever the capital's called? Angbar.
I wouldn't mind going to the capital.
Yeah.
Action there.
Nice to get access to some of their libraries or guild halls.
Yeah.
And with the church,
They likely have better amenities than these country folk do.
You were asking something, Elway?
well, and he was just saying, and we could check in with the church and see if there's any needs that we can help with.
There certainly is. Rhonda will have not as grand a cathedral as Ingrim or Travia, but all the 12 gods are recognized and venerated in here. A big city like that will have at least some folks like that. But there is something that suddenly disturbs the pleasant atmosphere. Would you each give us a perception check, please? It's under the physical skills with a modifier, a bonus of 4.
Anybody smell blueberries?
I did.
Did I mention the famous dark eye blueberry mimics? No?
I was totally waiting, like blueberries. Stop the blueberries. I'm like, maybe we should pick some, bring them in.
Excellent. Okay, so everyone succeeded with the same quality level. What you can, it is really one of the most unusual scenes. Where the trail continues along, there is the larger field to your right. The trail will continue on ahead, and then it kind of gets back into a more covered area. You hear some rustling in there, and then you hear a sound which is almost immediately afterwards followed by something bursting out of there. And it is a sheep. And this thing goes racing past you, obviously would not barrel you over. And then you heard almost immediately after that, when you're still processing this sheep running past you, there is the sound of what, is it a bird? No, it's a person. And perhaps Garen and Elweni, you recognize that first. It is a person, in fact, screaming for their life.
Oh, no.
And you very quickly see the unlikely person who is going around. I did not load an image of her, but I'll hold up to the camera, guys. This is who comes running around the corner. A young woman.
Is her name Mary by any chance?
Long blonde hair, who comes stumbling down the slope. A small lamb pressed to her bosom, but blood stains her rough linen dress, dark in places.
Mm-hmm.
And almost immediately afterwards, you see the reason that she has been sent running. And that, guys, there is a lot of images I loaded for this. Where is he? Where's that Fang Dragon?
You said you were putting in zillion hours. Look at this. He still found time to put in images.
Here we go. That is how hard I will work for these sessions. This guy's.
Oh no.
Oh, God. That can't be
Gas
good.
on the name.
Feel like I'm in Skyrim. Bears run.
Okay.
Yeah.
This thing comes lumbering after her. She seems as if she is so terrified she may not even recognize that you are there. A loud roar from this thing as it comes down and it sees you echoes down the mountainside. And if you were to translate it, I imagine it sounds something along the lines of, let's roll initiative, guys. Okay, so initiative in this game, it'll be, you have to click on your token for these character sheets. But the way it's rolled is 1d6 plus whatever your initiative score is.
And that was on the combat tab?
I believe it's under the combat tab, yeah. Okay. And... okay.
Oh, yeah, I think I see it.
Yeah, it's a black square next to initiative.
I could not have rolled better on initiative.
Fantastic. All right. So this thing is about 20 yards ahead right now. And she is scrambling along at... like she seems to be fortunate to be keeping ahead of this thing. Let me check what her movement is, and I'm going to put a token out for, not token for her, but a, there you go. Her move is, oh yeah, this thing is faster than her. It clearly has been gaining on her. And there we go. That's what I was looking for. All right. Let me make sure you guys can see it, but you can't see the numbers. There we go. Is that right? You guys can see the health bar, but not the numbers? Excellent.
Yes.
All right. And then Darurs is... Ooh. It is... There we go. Okay. So that means we have Talion up first. So this thing's about 20 yards ahead of you, Talion. It seems to be chasing this young woman. You can tell from the speed it's moving, it is likely to catch her if not this round. There's a gap of about maybe 8 to 10 yards between her and this thing.
Okay, well let's get its attention. The Thalion is only this brave because he has Elwyn nearby. He's going to strut forward 4 yards as part of his free action for the turn.
Okay.
And then we're going to try to quick cast a spell of Ignifaxius at it.
Okay. What's the
range?
range?
16 yards.
It's got a range of which?
16.
Nice.
Correct.
Excellent. And you're trying to quick cast?
Yes.
Okay, so you're using a modifier or a modification to reduce the casting time.
Yes.
Why don't you go ahead and give us a casting check?
Okay.
And because you're a guild wizard, that dictates kind of what things you need to do. You'll need to speak clearly, you'll need to gesture, and there's something else that guild wizards do.
Okay.
There we go. Nice. Success. Excellent. So quality level of 1.
Okay, it's asking me for a bonus penalty after I've rolled it for some reason.
For whether there's a bonus or penalty to the damage, because it's going to roll damage for you.
Okay, so do I roll the quality level into that then?
No, it'll do that for you.
Okay, just hit submit then.
Yep. 6 damage. Okay.
Yeah, so he struts forward, just being loud and obnoxious, and he looks like he's pulling fire out of the air around him, and it's like outside with the fire is, it's starting to get a little chilly because he's just extracting the heat, and he just throws it at the bear.
Nice.
He's like, Elwyn, get him.
Okay. So let's see here.
That cost me 8. Yes.
Your move.
Yeah,
I can move 8 yards.
line of sight to the target, magical gestures, and a magical incantation intoned openly and obviously. Okay. So there's this gout of flame that comes from the end of Talion's hand or staff, strikes this thing. 6 points of damage. Its protection
Suffers level times 2, so it's 2d6. Okay, yeah, that's right.
That's 1. All right. So that hits this thing. The girl kind of screams seeing this gout of flame come out towards her, but miss her. Elwene, what are you doing?
Where is your move?
It's the top of your sheet. It is the one that says, yeah, it's one you're calculating.
MOV.
Yeah.
Never mind. So MOV 7? Okay. So then she can move 5 even, I guess, so that she's ahead of Thalion by a yard. And then she's going to call upon Rondra and protect the defenseless.
Whoa.
It's got a range of 16, so she was only 15 away, so it doesn't really matter.
Yep.
It's in range. It's going to cost 8 KP.
Okay.
Is my blue bar, right?
Your blue bar, correct. And then what's your skill level with that? Liturgy.
My skill level.
It'll be the number that is listed there.
8? Oh, no.
Yeah, so that means you can put up to 2 modifications if you'd like on it.
No, I think I'm just going to go straight up. This one.
Okay.
So click on the dice.
Click on the dice, yeah.
No modifiers.
Make sure you've got no modifiers set at the top. So I asked you guys when we were testing out the sheet to make sure you put something in there. If that's clear.
Yeah, I took. I'm just gonna double check, but yeah, I took my modifiers out.
Awesome. Yeah, then go ahead. Success with 2 quality levels. Wow. Okay. Oh, you know what? Sorry. So what would be a modifier to it is its spirit. Its spirit is a 0. So. Okay. So what does it look like as you invoke this? And do you have your? Is drawing a weapon an action?
It is.
Oh yeah.
Her weapon away still.
Yeah, you cast a liturgical chant would god that, but I mean, this is sort of all happening in a moment, right? So.
Yeah, so she just kind of rushes forward, and she's got an icon that she uses. It's in her possessions, and I don't know if it's around her neck or
symbol of Rondra, by the way.
Symbol of Rondra. And she probably doesn't like hold it out like a holy symbol in D&D, but it's there, and she just kind of like she's like puts her arms out and calls upon the power of Rondra and says, "Fight me!"
And you can see that this thing is focused on you now. It has lost interest in the helpless woman. And the duration of that is so. What's listed in here? The duration, I think, is actually a translation error. That's the casting time, actually.
Yeah, duration is quality level times 3 minutes.
Well, yeah. So this thing is going to be fighting primarily you for
6 minutes.
Yep, fantastic. Then it is the bear's turn. So the first thing it'll do is... Oh, I didn't put the girl on here. John, give us a D6 roll, please.
Sure.
And add 12 to the result. That'll be what her... Hey, okay, so she's me after... Wait, is it 12? What's her initial?
It's a good thing we got its attention.
It is 12, actually. Okay. Yeah, because it would be on her this round. It instead turns and it's going to use its one action. Oh, so it uses its free action to cover the 10-yard distance. It then uses its first of its 2 actions to charge in another 10 and meet up to where you are, Elwene. Then
15 away.
You were 15 away from it before because it was 20 feet away from you, or 20 yards away from you guys. Its free action is to get it to be 10 away from you. It uses this next action to cover the distance, but it actually has 2 actions, so it's going to be able to try and hit you now. So you do not have a weapon. No, you can use your brawling. You'll see that's always up there, so you can try and parry with that. If this thing, what's the size here? Fortunately, it's not that big of a bear. It's a medium, which means you can parry this thing if you choose to. As far as bears go, this isn't an overly large one. This thing, but you only need to worry about that if I hit. Okay. So this thing is going to try and tag you with his paws because you don't have a weapon out yet. And it has a special ability too, which is one of the ways that you can do this too, I think. It's going to try and use takedown. So it's going to try and batter you to the ground, Elwene. I actually failed. I missed. So it swears at you, and you sort of manage to duck out of the way, but you know that this thing is quite fast. It's got more than one action here. So, Garen, you're about 5 yards back from where this thing has charged into Elwene. Talion is just behind it. It's blazed. Oh, give us also... Hold up. Is it only on a crit that it might go aflame?
No, it's only if flammable things are caught on fire. Unless the bear is flammable, I don't think it would just... I don't know.
Give us on a 1, it'll be... Give us a D6 roll. This game, incidentally, only uses D20s and D6s. Okay, so not on fire. All right. Garen, what are you doing?
So on my turn, I can move my movement.
Yep.
But it says it's a 0.
Your move?
In my chart on the top there.
Let's see. Let's see here.
Like it's MOV, right? Move?
Yeah. Why is your move a 0?
Do you have like
I'm not sure. I'm a little uncertain.
Base values. Let's see here.
Different on your character sheet.
Oh, it may not have been entered in. Hold up. Let me see here.
Oh, maybe. Okay.
Yeah, let me double check.
Shoot, I closed that PDF. Where did I put it?
Here we go. Garen.
It's in my downloads.
Out here.
Garen.
Movement should be a 7.
Oh, okay, that makes a lot more sense than 0.
So why? Hold on. Do you have? Yeah, I don't know why it would have. Yeah, like your equipment isn't going to be too much. You have mine. Oh, your movement will be a 6 actually. No,
okay.
It won't be. No, it'll be normal because you've got the offset encumbrance ability, right?
Yeah, one of my special abilities is inured to encumbrance.
Inured to encumbrance, perfect. So let's just go back to your base values. I think I can just add the 7 in here. Yeah, there we go.
Okay.
And I wonder if a nerd to endurance only covers skill checks. Let's take a look here. Sorry, Jeff, I'll relinquish control of fucking around with your character sheet.
No, at all. We want to have it right.
Oh, right. So it reduces it to the lower level you have. Let me double check here. You have leather armor on. I think it's under the nerd to endurance section here. Because the sheet is otherwise pretty good about adding in those auto modifiers for it, and like we can always make that change, but I wonder if it's intended to be to offset your attack penalties, but not your movement penalties. Here, 237 is the chart. Let's see. All right, so you're wearing leather armor. Oh, you know why? Is because 2 down would be heavy clothing, which still has -1 movement, -1 initiative.
Oh, okay.
So that's why it's a minus. So you have a 6 is your move.
And okay. So I guess the question is, so I can reach the bear then?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Perfect. That was a long way to get to it.
It's a long one. You know what? We look it up once. We don't have to look it up again.
Yeah.
So.
So then, is this a case where I want to do something like forceful blow?
Well, you don't have a weapon out right now.
Oh, I see. I have to take my sword out. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, well, I'll do that then.
Okay.
I will draw my longsword.
Okay, so you race over, get your longsword. Top of the round. Talion, what are you doing?
I'm gonna skedaddle back a little bit to get behind Garen.
Oh, the girl has sort of like run perpendicular off the trail a little bit. Okay.
So I definitely don't want to be near this thing swiping distance. And I think I want to cast another spell at it, but I'll go with my Fulminicatus to give it some automatic wounds if I succeed.
Nice. Okay.
And it's a 1 action, so I don't need to modify anything.
So do you have what you could do is you can't reduce the cost of these attack spells, but
modifications, here we are.
Yeah, is there another modification? Like force is sometimes something you can increase. But that I might be thinking of the
range. I could emit gestures. No. Increase cost by 1 increment. Magic check receives a bonus of 1. Not sure what the
increase. You would increase the arcane energy cost by 1 to get a bonus 1 to your. That would apply a +1 to all of your stats that you're rolling against.
And would that like double my cost for the spell?
No, just add +1.
Okay, so it costs 1 more. Alrighty.
Oh, hold on, wait.
Oh no, my
no,
cost
you're
is
right.
not
It does
modifiable.
double. It does double because if you look at the increment modifier, it's 8 AE normally, right?
Yeah, but it also says not modifiable, so I can't actually do that on this one.
No. What that means is that you can't modify that down.
Gotcha.
But what can happen is that you can increase the cost of it by 1 increment in order to get a +1 to your skill.
Yeah, I'm not going to spend 16 on that.
Okay.
We'll just go with the normal spell.
Okay. So let's see how it goes.
Fail.
Oh no! What's that 15 against?
A 9. My constitution is not that great.
Would you like to fate point that?
I would.
Okay, go ahead. You have to, I guess, with a reroll, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Is there a reroll button, or do I reroll the whole thing?
You reroll the whole thing. That's right.
Okay. Still failed.
Okay. You're rushing, I guess, things a little too much here, and the the
con is my weakness. I need to avoid those spells unless I have bonuses.
Okay. let's see here. So if you fail, you only spend half of the AE required.
Okay.
So it's only 4 for it. All right. So Talion, unfortunately, your spell doesn't go off. Elwene, you're up. What are you doing?
She's going to draw Rondra's crest.
Excellent. That is out. Oh, is that your only? That's your only action? You have a free action you want to do?
Nope. Just actually, I don't know about. Is there flanking rules or something?
There's not. No.
Okay. I think she'll just make sure she'll sidestep or
actually,
something.
Hold on. No. Sorry. Let me correct myself on that, Dave. There is a neat thing. There isn't like a list of like get into this position and then you'll get Y. What there is instead is kind of a generic, like if you can describe in the scene some way of taking advantage of it. I believe it's just a flat +2. But let me double check that because it was a neat. It was a neat way of just kind of like doing a catch-all for situational advantages. Let's see here. Close combat reach doesn't. Where was it? So I really like that. They give you, like in the optional, more advanced rules, there are other, more comprehensive rules for. Here it is, advantageous position. An advantageous position in combat grants a bonus of 2 to attack and defense. It can include standing on a table or a large rock or fighting an enemy who's downhill from you or whatever. So why don't you give us a cool description of how you and Garen position yourselves around this thing?
Yeah, it's something we've worked on in the past, and typically when Elwene is, drawn the ire of some person or creature,
okay,
she just like sidesteps to the right a little bit if Garen's on her left,
okay,
and tries to get that creature to turn its back towards where Garen's standing,
okay,
so that he'll be able to take advantage of its.
Give us a challenging body control roll. That's how you that skill is used to sort of position yourself. There's no consequence for a failure, just means you don't get yourself into that position. If you botch, you might get an attack of opportunity, but we'll talk about attacks of opportunity when they come up. Oh, God, this thing's so... Now, you could fate point that.
Sure, let's give that a shot.
Okay, go ahead.
Reroll.
You got it. Nice. All right. So what does it look like?
So yeah,
the sword comes out.
She sees its kind of interface and it's growling and snarling, and she just kind of like sidesteps to the right, and out of the side of her vision, she sees Garen kind of in position and moves it to the right so that the bear will kind of face her when it attacks. And
when Rondra has also gripped it, right, because of your liturgy from before. So this thing is fully focused on you. Garen, you're going to get a +2 to attacks and defenses against this thing.
Wow.
As will Elwene once because of the advantage. But here we go. So thank God you got that, and you got your sword out, because this thing is going to try and get you now. Now, here's where one of the interesting things comes with the animals. Animals' attacks also have different sizes too. So, like for instance, for this thing to bite you, that is a short range. It does a lot more damage, but it is a short distance for it, which means it might paw at you because it's not taking a penalty to try and attack you with its medium reach paws.
Right.
So, and that is precisely what this thing is going to do. First, it bellows, and then it kind of roars up on its two back or hind legs, and it's going to try and hit you with its first paw. It's just going to try and connect now. It's not going to do anything fancy. That first one is a hit. So would you like to parry that?
Yeah, so I'll use my parry dice on the Rondra's crest.
Yep. And you get a modifier of +2 for it. Remember, don't put the plus sign in, but let's see here. Oh! Would you care to fate point that? Or take the hit?
No.
No, take the hit. All right. So this thing swings at you. It connects and does 10 points of life points, or 10 points of damage, which will come off your life.
For protection, or
-4 for your protection, correct.
-6.
Okay. And I don't think that brings you down to a quarter yet. No, because it'd be
68. No.
It'll actually show up in your. If you take a look at the states thing, you'll see whether you've got a point of pain yet.
Yeah. You guys will hover over the far left number under the LP, and it'll show you your pain levels.
Oh, awesome.
No.
Nope. Okay, excellent. So that first one hits, and then emboldened by it, it's going to try and get you a second time. And that is a miss, fortunately, because you would be suffering -3 on your second parry. So,
Okay.
this thing roars and tries to get you with 2 of its paws. One of them connects, but fortunately, that was enough of a lesson for you to get out of the way of the second one. Garen, this thing is seemingly ignoring you.
Yes, and I feel blessed by my friend, so I'm gonna try the forceful blow.
Nice.
Do I check the box before I attack?
Yeah, just tick off the column 1 for it, and it should add those modifiers to your attack roll.
Okay, perfect.
And then when it prompts for the attack, use the leftmost dice for the leftmost red one, and then when it prompts for modifiers, put a 2 in.
Yeah, 2. Okay, here we go.
Nice. That is a hit. Now this thing, I don't think it's going to try and defend. It's ignoring you altogether. So go ahead and roll your DP, your damage points.
So I just click on the little DP in the longsword there?
Yeah, and
Okay.
it should add all your modifiers in.
And I have no bonus to... I have bonus damage from the
No,
other
but
thing.
again, it'll calculate that for you. That's why you're clicking that thing. +2, +7. Oosh.
Yeah, but that's my normal number.
Your normal number is +7?
Like it says under longsword, it says, oh, wait a minute. Well, I'm just going to uncheck it and see if it's just adding it there.
I think it probably is.
Oh, yeah, it did add it there. Okay,
Yeah,
never
these
mind,
are
that's good.
pretty
Yeah.
amazing. So
Yeah, I
that
get
is
it.
a huge hit. Look at this. Okay, so it's got some protection, but look at this. Boom. And you can hear this thing squeal in pain.
Nice.
So, not for nothing, enemies also suffer pain levels. And one neat thing they have is enemies typically have a, like, here's what will cause them to retreat. And often it's when you reach X pain level.
And do pain level stacks, such as from different
Yep.
sources?
Pain levels stack. All conditions, typically a lot of conditions just give you a minus to a minus modifier. You cap out at -5, but until you hit -8 total. If you hit -4 from any one condition, you're incapacitated. If it's a combined amount of 8, you are incapacitated. But anything less than that, you cap out at -5 and you keep on going. As best you can. Then you can always spend a fate point to ignore conditions for 1 round. So, yeah, that's what does it look like, Garen, as you just lay into this thing?
He's emboldened by, the magic that he knows that Elwyn has put out, but also he knows a foe like this, we must take it down quickly. And so, yeah, he's sort of just moving between the bear's paws and sinks the sword deep into its torso, just sort of trying to inflict a lot of damage.
Incredible. Talion, what are you doing?
Alrighty, he kind of plants his feet and he starts to slow cast one of his spells with normal casting time. So he's spending this turn charging up the first round of his spell.
Nice. What are we
You
seeing
see
form
flames
as he's doing
starts
this?
as the flames start to lick around him, he draws on the fire again.
Excellent. Awesome. Elwene, Rondra's crest is out and you have the bear's full attention. What are you doing?
I think she's gonna hit it with a forceful blow because it just got smacked from behind, and she's not sure if it'll turn around. But let's try and do the same.
Okay. So tick your forceful blow. You have +2 because of the positioning that you've done. So your modifier will be 2. And you roll the leftmost dice. Oh! You want to fate point that?
Sure. Why not?
Oh, and Garen, actually, you should have 4 fate points. Hold up. Because you are lucky.
There was only 3 on the sheet.
Yeah, let me just want to make sure the special abilities things are really incredible too. So we're luck. Let's go to
One.
this. Like, watch
20 is-
this.
Eating our meta currency.
Add modifier. Where is
Saving
this?
your good rolls for your dodging and parrying.
Fate points. 1. There we go. There you go. You got your 4 now.
Perfect.
Yeah, the sheets are really, really good. Oh no! Jeez. That's with your +2 as well?
Yeah.
Why is it? Oh, because you take the -2 for the forceful blow. That's why.
Yep. That's right.
So you try and you overextend. Oh no. All right, this thing's turn. So this thing is first going to try and tag you once again, L1A, although now it knows Garen is also a threat. So first, let's try and get you. It lashes out once again with that paw. I hit, even with the pain modifier. Would you like to parry?
Sure.
You get +2 to your parry from the combat positioning. Nice! What's it look like?
I think it's claw comes up swiping, and she just kind of gets the haft of her two-handed weapon in the way, and it just bats her weapon away, but it doesn't make contact.
Awesome. Then it is going to try and backhand you, Garen. So, let's see here. First, that is a hit. So, yeah, another paw comes back at you. You can go ahead and parry if you like. You'll
Yep.
+2 to your parry.
They do that even though it's under the protection of the...
Yeah, I double checked that. It only protects it against the original target, so it's not going to attack the girl.
Yeah.
Okay, that makes sense.
Also, it's against defenseless targets. Garen is clearly not defenseless.
Not
Dodge
defense.
button, but I don't see a parry one.
A parry is going to be next to your longsword. It's the first green dice on the right side of your red
Oh,
dice.
there it is. Yeah. Okay,
Yep.
I see it. Okay, got it. Oh my gosh.
So it wasn't a 20.
Do you want to fate point that, or you take the hit? Well, you got 4 fate points.
I feel like I am fated to not get hit by this, so I'll try again.
Go ahead.
Come on.
There you go. All right, so both of you managed to get your steel interposed between this thing's claws and your flesh. Garen, you're up next. Just batter this thing's paw aside. What are you doing?
Okay, so my bonus is gone, or is it?
It's a special action, so you can choose to do a different special action.
It's from Elwyn.
Oh, no, you guys got yourself, unless this bear makes a body control roll to try and...
Position.
Actually, you know what? Hold on. I'm going to do that. It's a good point. Let me just make a body control roll for this thing and see if I can get out of the positioning. Now, the GM screen does not have a skill list on it, which is unfortunate for your skill-based game. But the core rulebook has a single page with all the skills listed on it right at the back with all the other tables. So the GM screen gets a failing grade, the core rulebook gets a A+. Body controls agility. Okay. Agility and constitution. Oof. This thing lumbers itself back. I gave it to you guys as a free action. This thing lumbers itself back so that you no longer have that positioning. It's got both of you in front of it.
Okay.
Okay. So sorry, then Garen, yes, you do not have that bonus right now.
Okay, then I will just make a normal attack.
Okay.
Won't take the penalty.
You want to fate point that?
No, I'm gonna save those for defense.
Okay. So you swing at this thing, and unfortunately, there's just not a good opening. Thalion.
Alrighty, he kind of shovels to the side just a bit to keep the bear in his sight, and then he completes the casting for a spell, and hopefully it activates.
Okay. Come on. This is Fulminicus. Oh, Ignifaxius.
It failed.
Oh,
Look at
19.
those double 19s. I'm spending a fate point.
Yeah, go right ahead.
'Cause I'm inheriting Jeff's bad luck this session.
Oh, I don't know. I've rolled a lot of high numbers, which
There you
normally are
go.
good, but today is terrible.
QL2. Go ahead and roll. Click the through to damage. 9. Yeah, 2 times 2 is 4 times 5. It should be 20, isn't it?
No,
it's the
2d6.
Right. Oh, plus, sorry, order of operations, Madison. Come on. I'm taking the QL times everything. That's not the way it's listed. QL times 2, so it'll be 4 plus what you rolled. I'm trying to give you far too much here.
He's trying to double everything.
I just can't again.
A modification for damage. So.
Yeah, basic arithmetic and order of operations is apparently my kryptonite. All right, so then that is.
You can put parentheses in there in the description for you, Kev, so you could, clearly identify there's a multiplication in there.
All right, so that is 9 points of damage. Wow, look at this. So, boom. That means
I'm gonna run out of arcane energy before.
All right. Then it is Elwene.
Swing again, because why not? But it's moved away, so it doesn't get the bonus now?
You don't have the +2 modifier anymore, no.
Okay. That's all right. I'm going to take off forceful blow, so I have a better chance of hitting it.
Okay. That is a solid hit. It is going to try and batter that aside. No, it's not. It's going to try and dodge. So has minus. Oh, hold on. So it suffered a level of pain. Actually, this thing needs to check against frenzy. Great news, guys.
No,
that doesn't sound very great.
So
this reminds me of that meme where the bear's fighting the guy and it does a little boxer shuffle foot and then kicks the guy.
Yeah, really. All right, so it needs to make a willpower check here. Willpower is under social. Okay, so courage. Pass. Int and charisma. And failed. And there's not, that's flat out failed. All right, so this thing is entering a frenzy.
Which means it just accepts my hit damage.
Yeah, no, it means it gets a bonus of 4 to its close combat attacks and deals +2 damage, but it cannot defend. So that means that is a hit, and I can no longer defend. Go right ahead.
Dang.
7 damage. All right. Remember, you can spend a fate point to reroll damage if you choose.
I'm only down to 1, so I'm going to keep that just in case something really bad happens.
That's fair. All right, so that is 6 more. But look at that, though. Another. Oof. You can hear it, even in its state of frenzy. It just bellows out. You can hear it echoing down into the mountain valley. It's in so much pain.
And then she yells, "Be gone, creature of the wild! We do not wish to kill you."
This thing is not pleased with you, Elwene. So it is.
Yeah,
let's see here. So it's going to try and hit you with its paws again. That is a hit, even with the pain. So go ahead if you'd like to parry.
For the pain, yeah, for sure. Oh.
No. Okay. That is. That's 14 points of damage, Elwene. Boom! Remember, 4 points, but yet you're 4 armor, though, right? Because you have 4 protection?
Oh, right. So
yeah.
That 4 back.
So I believe that's 2 levels of pain you suddenly...
Yeah, I'm halfway down.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh, shit.
And then it's...
That's okay.
She's got it.
I got this covered. Don't you worry.
Garen, it's going to have its second attack on you. Oops. So that is a hit as well. And a parry.
Okay. Yeah, I'm going to try. Yeah.
Oh, so
confirm.
Roll confirmation roll.
Oh, I have to confirm it? Oh.
Yes.
You can confirm it, Jeff. You can confirm it.
No, this is roll 20. It's just teasing.
Yeah, and then also you cannot spend fate points on confirmation rolls.
No.
Here's the thing with confirmation rolls in attacks, though. If okay, hold on. If the confirmation roll fails, have the target's defense stat against the attack. So it makes it a lot harder. Yeah, like even if you fail, that's what I was thinking before, John, is like there's in combat, even if you succeed in the confirmation, it's really good. It's like double damage plus they get the half attack. But if you fail the confirmation roll, you still get something good out of the result.
That's good.
Yeah. So it's half the defenses, and this thing doesn't defend, so go ahead and roll damage.
So it's like a mini crit.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, I still do get the attack? Oh, okay.
Yeah, it was a critical hit. Oh, no, sorry, it attacked you.
Yeah.
Oh,
what I'm saying.
right.
I got the...
Hold on, so let me check about the critical on defense.
It says in the description, the defender can make an immediate attack of opportunity if he confirms his roll.
Oh, got it. Okay. That's
Right.
very cool.
Yeah. If I would have confirmed the crit,
Yes.
parry. Yeah.
Okay, that's cool.
It makes it hard to get crits in this game.
But that's only for the defense, though. Like the way that I described there, that's for the attack. If you like, whether you fail or confirm, like let's say that you roll that on your attack, that means the bear, if you had confirmed it, the bear cannot defend and takes double damage, or halves the defense and takes double damage. If you didn't confirm, it still takes half on its defense. So critical on an attack, you're always getting something cool out of it.
Oh, okay, I see.
Yeah. And you don't roll critical to confirm on skills because it's only from when you roll 2 ones out of the 3 d20s.
And if you get 3 20s, which is good luck, but...
Yeah. All right, so then this thing, you batter its paw aside. Garen, you're up next. What are you doing?
Okay, so this seems like troublesome. I am gonna do this forceful blow again.
What you could do as well, that positioning thing, I did it as a free action. It probably should have been an action. If you want to use like body control to try and position yourself so that you and Elwene have better defenses, you can get that same bonus she got last time with superior positioning.
Oh, okay. And I can do that and still attack, or that is my action?
That is your, I think that's your action. I gave it as a free action last time, but then I also gave it to the bear to get out of it, so... But I think...
I do have defensive posture, but then I don't get an attack, but I feel like I need to take this thing out.
Yeah, okay.
Oh, wait. Maybe I want to... Two per level. So I don't know if it's better to take his defense down or do my damage more.
It's not defending right now.
Yeah, he's in a frenzy, so he's not defending, so feint won't do...
So then I think, I'm just going to try and hurt him.
Okay.
So here we go.
Come on.
Come on.
Do you want a fate point then?
Yeah, I'm going to fate point it this time.
Okay.
Roll 20 is like, hey, Jeff, we're going to give you a lot of high rolls this week.
We turned the system around. We checked, Jeff. We were unfair with you, so we're going to boost your
18 to 19
this week. Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
Nice. All right, so go ahead and roll damage.
Okay.
Just the DP.
Yep.
Come on.
Oh, those are terrible rolls.
No, that's a good hit, though.
No, but it's 4 on 2d6.
Look at that. It's bellows in pain once again. Okay. Not quite yet. All right. Then it is Talion. What are you doing?
Wishing I had a more offensive one-action spells. I'm going to try to quick cast a spell.
Okay.
And go ahead and casting time, reduce casting time. And I'm going to try to inflict some pain.
First question, do you have 4 levels in that?
I do.
Fantastic.
SP, yeah, I got 4 SP.
Yeah.
And hopefully my low con does not ruin this roll.
Come on.
I
Nice.
succeeded.
So 1, outstanding.
Barely.
Okay,
I gave it 1 level of pain for 1 combat round.
incredible. So it squeals in pain as, what does this one manifest as? Corporal vessel.
So just because the bear's already bleeding, he kind of like reaches out with his magic, and it seems like the blood starts to just pull even further out of its skin and open its wounds further.
Oh, did you see the cost? The cost of that one?
16. Why is it 16? I thought it was 16 yards.
No. It's 8 yards, 16 AE.
Oof.
But you would have known that, though.
Yeah.
I think that is one that you could have cast with the reduced cost, though. Or
Yeah,
you already.
I could have had it.
In which case, it would not go off until next round because you've only got 4
Okay.
skill points in it, right?
That is correct. So we'll just say it goes off next round, and I'll subtract the 8.
Yeah, that's fine. So you're taking your time getting this thing together. And then, Elwene, what are you doing?
Smack it.
Smack it?
But she's bleeding.
Well, you're feeling your hits, definitely, so you got pain. Bleeding is a separate condition. But
Yeah.
you,
So is
you have a couple options here. There's that in your... pain tolerance is something that you could invoke.
now that requires me to cast, or is that just?
Yeah, cast a liturgy. Let me just double check here with the liturgical chant.
If it causes me to take an attack of opportunity, I probably wouldn't do it.
I don't believe it does. It is one action, though. And the reason being because the duration is like your quality level times 3 combat rounds.
I think that'll put you in the first level of Rapture, won't it?
Yes. Oh, that's the other thing. Remember, you can spend knowledge points directly to add to your combat skills. You can spend 4 points to add +2 to your combat skills for this roll. Using a miracle of Rondra. That doesn't cost you any action.
So how does that work then?
So you spend 4... Basically, you're calling on a miracle of Rondra.
Okay.
And what it is you spend 4 karma points, and then you add +2 to your skill for the roll.
Okay. So -3.
Minus 4 points. Because it's always 4 karma points to spend it.
I spent the 4 points.
Okay, and then and John's right, you've spent 10 points now. If you can go into the states and put yourself at Rapture of 1.
Okay.
And here we go.
I think it only really gets good once he gets Rapture 2. Right?
Yes. Yeah. Although you stay at Rapture because she's got an advantage called Mystic. She stays in Rapture 1 for 2 hours before it comes down. So,
Okay. So I'm going to make my pain tolerance check. And
So if you're spending the 4 points, that's not to cast or to cast the liturgical chant. That's just a miracle. That's just something you can do. Remember we talked before about the skills that are associated with Rondra?
okay, yeah.
Those you can always spend 4 karma to get +2 to those skills.
Okay, so I can just make an attack with a.
Which will net you the same thing. I think you're at pain level 2 right now. It'll give you a +2 to your close combat skills.
Yeah, because currently it says 9 on my attack dice, where it normally would say 11.
Exactly. So when it prompts you for a modifier, just put 2 in.
Okay.
Because that's your miracle. There you go. Go ahead and roll damage. Because this thing's not defending. Come on, big. Oh, there you go.
Nice.
All right.
Now, is it down enough that it might flee?
Unfortunately, it's in frenzy right now, and frenzy lasts. Hold on, actually, it lasts. Let me see how long. It's probably going to die before it gets out of this frenzy. So you hit this thing once again. It is still affected by pain, though. The frenzy gives it a bonus to sort of offset some of that, but it's still suffering from that. And it will be incapacitated once it reaches a certain level of pain. So, Talion, when your spell goes off, it'll put it at a pain level 4, which would incapacitate it for 1 round. Okay.
See if Garion manages to finish it off first.
Yeah. All right. So, Elwena, you slam into this thing. It is in a great deal of pain right now. It is bleeding from several of those nasty wounds, but it is still intent on taking down the source of its pain. Elwene. Oh, I got a hit. Now, let me double check about the miracle, because I can't remember if it is for the one roll or for the one round. If it lasts for the round, your parry would also go up. So
this game is so chunky. I love it.
Oh, yeah. I had a feeling that this would be
very chunky.
Okay, 4. Oh, it is one skill check. So, Elwene, if you want to do the exact same thing do another miracle, you could spend 4 more karma points and then make a parry check with +2.
Yeah, let's do that.
Okay.
4 more karma point.
You spend 4 more after this, you'll be in Rapture 2, which is where the fun starts.
Chameleon.
Oh.
My parry's not as good. So.
No, all right. Unfortunately, it gets through. That is
See who can
8.
get pain 4 first.
Yeah. 8 points of damage. Remember, you got protection 4. It's only 4 more. Oh, big hit. Then its second attack is... Yeah, I'm trying to decide. Garen hit it last turn too, so it's not happy with either of you guys. Garen, with its pain, it's suffering 3 + 4. That is still a hit. You want to parry?
I want to try.
Okay.
All right, here we go.
Oh!
20. Just a troll.
You want to fate that, or you want to take the hit?
I mean, I'm uninjured, so...
Okay. That is 10 points of damage. Your protection from your leather armor is 3, so you only take 7, but that's 7 damage to your life points.
On my life points?
Yep.
Okay.
On the, or the red bar on your token, subtract 7 from it.
Wait, if I just put -7... Nope. Oops.
No,
that's not what I meant to do.
If you click on your token...
Yeah.
The red bar -7.
I know. I thought if I clicked on the sheet, it would do it. But so, okay, how does the pain work?
It'll automatically trigger once you're down to a quarter. If you hover over your life points, it should show you what pain level you're at.
It's 1 off pain. Okay. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So when you lose a quarter of your life points, you hit the first level. At half, you hit the second. At 3/4, you hit the third. When you're at 5 points or less, you're at the 4th, and you're incapacitated.
Got it.
Okay. And then it is your turn, Garen. So, woof, this thing hits hard, especially when it's frenzied.
Now I really want to finish this thing off, so I'm going to use my forceful blow again.
Okay.
There we go. Big damage, big hit.
That is a hit. Go ahead and roll damage.
Come on. Big damage. What? How did I even get 8?
You're rolling a d6.
D6 plus 7.
How come I went... Oh, wasn't I rolling 2d6 before?
No. Elwene does with her Rondra's Crest.
Oh.
But that is... Okay, 8 points of damage. Look at this.
For some reason, I thought I rolled more than that.
You could spend a fate point to reroll damage.
I mean, that is a 1. Yeah, I can't do worse than that.
You just click on DP again.
All right, here we go. Redo that garbage.
Come on.
Roll 20 is
Typical
amazing.
Roll 20.
It is an amazing product.
All right. So, yeah, you get a hit on this thing. Talion.
And spell goes off.
This thing screams and then slumps to the ground. You'll have time to speak with your free action to say that, like, you know that your spell just barely got off. It's going to be 1 round this thing's incapacitated.
Gotcha. It's only down for a moment. Finish it off.
Okay. Elwene. What are you doing?
Too bad we can't run away and leave it to lick its wounds.
If you say that, actually, that could be a free action. Garen, quickly give us an easy. Are you trained in animal lore?
Skills. Nature skills. Yes, I believe so.
Give us an easy animal lore check, please.
Okay. So difficulty easy. Check.
Nice. So Elweni maybe says that, we could flee and leave it. Garen, like, however dangerous this thing was before, if it is an injured bear, it is doubly, if not, infinitely more dangerous to all the communities that are nearby.
Yeah. No.
What do you say?
We can't. Yeah. We must finish it off. Sorry, Ellen.
Yeah, you don't even need to. With that massive sword and this thing incapacitated, how do you put this thing down?
It's not moving, so let's bam, hit it really hard and
yeah. It lets out one pained sound briefly, and then it is silent.
well, I didn't want to kill it, but maybe we could make use of pelt and meat and things. If you're
I have good news. You guys just defeated your first adversary. Everybody gets a fate point.
Cool.
So, with that thing down, you spare a look over, and you can see that this woman is actually quite badly hurt as well, too. She looks like she is at, mechanically, she's going to be at, a pain 2, maybe 3. She got quite badly hurt by this thing from its first hit. But unfortunately, guys, we're already at our mid-session break. Why don't we take our mid-session break? We'll come back and see what you guys choose to do with this woman and her sheep. So for those listening at home, we'll be back momentarily. Oh, we're back in 5 minutes. What am I talking about? All right. So you've got a spell that can trade. Oh man, but your arcane energy is pretty low, right?
Oh, yeah, the spells are not energy efficient.
I think you have. Hold up here.
You got to spend a minimum of 4 to cast a spell, but it's 1 life point per energy point.
You do have magical potions.
Do I?
Yeah, under your equipment.
Inventory. No.
I can't remember how much arcane energy they restore. I think you could display them in
It's QS 2 regenerates 1d6 upon ingestion.
Oh, okay, there you go. All right.
I've got nowhere near enough to heal what was dealt.
Mm-hmm.
Damage.
Yeah, that's a lot. Okay.
And I got to get the spell off, so.
Oh, that's true. Okay. So, let's see. The other options.
I have treat wounds.
Excellent. Okay. So, treat wounds is. Take a look at the skills. It's under knowledge, or is it under craft? It's under craft, isn't it? Yeah. Here we go.
Yeah.
All right.
Treat soul, uh-oh.
Okay, so with a successful check, the target receives an additional quality level life points back during their next regeneration phase. It takes 15 minutes. In addition, you can use it to relieve levels of pain. For every quality level, you can ignore 1 level of pain. And it ends at the next regeneration phase. Stabilizing wound, no one's dying yet. So basically, your choices are: you take 15 minutes to give them a bonus to their next recovery or next refresh.
Okay.
Regeneration, not refresh. Regeneration phase, which is like a rest. You can also make a skill check to relieve pain levels. So you can do that for yourself and for Elweni, or for this young woman too.
Yeah, I will do that for everyone that I can.
Sure.
So it takes us
now hold on.
45 minutes?
Elweni also has something that she can do too.
Oh. Okay.
All blessed ones have access to blessings, which are kind of like the liturgical versions of cantrips. Mages have only like 1 cantrip to start, but blessed ones get all of the blessings, and one of those is blessings of health. And where is it here? Healing herbs. Here we go. Nope, that's not what I'm looking for. Here we go. All right. Blessing. Minor healing blessing for 1 karma point. The recipient recovers 1 life point. Can only be used once per day. But for those who are on like the edge of a pain level, that's can be a deal breaker for it. So, Dave, we were talking about healing and this young woman who is currently kind of traumatized from being attacked by a bear. What do you guys do?
I think I'll make my way over to the young woman and try to staunch some of her wounds while Garen sees to Elwyn.
Okay.
Elwyn?
Do you have treat wounds?
I do.
No, Talion.
Oh, I'm gonna cast a spell.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So,
I'm gonna say, I have a spell that may alleviate the wounds if you.
So she
can
has
receive.
Mechanically, she's lost 12 so far.
Okay. I can't heal nearly that much, but I can try to help her a little bit.
If you heal, let me think here. If you heal 6, That gets rid of all of her pain levels.
I can do 4.
Okay. Does it cost 2 for 1?
It's a 1 for 1, but I got to spend a minimum of 4, and it heals up to my skill points in it, and I only got 4 in it.
Oh, got it. Oh, I didn't know that. Okay, cool.
So let's give it a shot.
That's a good. Yeah, go right ahead.
Success.
Nice. So what does it look like as you cast Balsam?
Let's see. So it's going to take only a minute for her to recover those wounds. So he starts like moving his hands along the flesh of where she's torn up a bit, and you see the wounds start to knit together. The blood pulls back in and scabs over real quick, and it's like he loses a little bit of color in his own flesh as he's channeling the mana into her. But he recovers a little bit afterwards.
Nice.
And then he was like, "If you give me another moment, I can try again." And he's going to drink one of his potions.
Oh, very cool. Okay.
I got just enough to cast it one more time.
There you go. Go ahead. Give us a second casting.
And this will heal her total 8, I think. Might as well go for all of it.
Okay.
I failed.
You want to fate point that?
Yes, because that's ridiculous.
Okay.
There we go.
There you go.
And that takes a full 4 minutes for that to work.
Okay.
But I'm drained now.
6 minus 1 for each quality level. You get a quality level of 1.
6?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Awesome. So Talion, as you can see, is working his magic metaphorically and literally with this young woman. Anna doesn't like the innuendo. Elwene and Garen. So Garen, you were thinking of doing some treatment. Do you want to treat yourself first, or do you want to... I'm trying to remember if pain impacts all skills or whether it's only certain ones.
Just looking at pain.
The reason I ask is because you might want to treat yourself first to treat that 1 pain level, so then you've got no penalty for treating Elwene.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
The blessings affected by pain?
Pain, all checks, and -1 move. You're at
Yeah,
what?
so
You're at 3
I'm
levels.
not pain. I'm not down enough for 1 pain yet.
Oh, fantastic! Well, there you go.
So I'll just treat LNA.
Okay. Just go ahead and give us a treat wounds, and I think you can put that at easy as well. You guys are in a, the danger is over.
So easy check. Oh my goodness.
You want to fate point that, or?
Yeah, I should have a better chance than that.
Oh, you should have 2 fate points, I think, because you got 1 after defeating the bear.
Oh, okay. So then I'll stay at 1 and I'll try that again.
Okay.
That ever convenient.
Yeah, you barely failed that roll.
Yeah.
Come on.
There you go. All right. Quality level 1. So, were you treating the pain first, or were you treating the giving her a bonus to her recovery?
Let's treat the pain because we're out on the, woods here for now.
All right. So, Elwene, you can reduce your. How are we gonna do this? Your pain is reduced by 1. So I don't know if you can. I think you can put in a temporary modifier under the states.
I just unclicked the second pain.
You
in my
just.
state.
What'd you do, Dave?
I just went to the pain conditions and unchecked this second row or second column of pain.
Oh, okay, good. Yeah, that'll work. Okay. And then do you want to try and treat her to give her bind the wounds for a bonus as well there, Garen?
Sure.
Give us another easy treat wounds.
Easy.
Nice.
There we go.
Quality level 2 this time. So that is going to be, I think it's a +2 then, right? To your to your next regeneration phase. Because you recover 1d6 life points when you have a regeneration phase. You could do that as well to yourself. Do you want to just heal yourself by 1?
Yeah.
Okay.
I can do that to everybody who's new.
Yeah, actually, and that'll almost tap up the young woman. Incidentally, her name is Irmi.
Okay, so I will. Garen gets a point, and he'll take a point of healing.
So then I gain 1 LP. Is that correct?
You gain 1 LP,
red.
correct?
Okay.
Great.
Nice.
Okay.
But it also drops me to 12 out of 35. And something mentioned the level of rapture.
Yeah, so your rapture will be 2 now, which means you get +1 to skills associated with Rondra, which is close combat, military, whatnot. You can just feel there's a mystical fervor that is in you.
You'd almost feel like an energy coming off this.
Yeah, the downside is you currently, because of the rapture, things that are anathema to her, you're taking penalties to.
Yeah, well.
So let's just double check here.
We're not in going to peace talks or anything, so.
Yeah. All right. So Elwene's got this like wild look in her eye that you have recognized before when, when the spirit takes her, as it were. Talion, what you learn is, as your Irmi thanks you for this, she not only for driving that bear off, she also thanks you for treating your wounds. With your magic, she's utterly, there's some scrapes and whatnot now, but she's completely without pain. Where were you coming from?
He's a little slow to respond, just because he feels completely tapped out, even though he didn't take a scratch in the fight. He's like, that way, a ways, heading towards the big city.
It was, so you're currently, hold up, I've got the map over here. You guys came originally from Costume, and
Yes.
you are heading to
Angbar, right?
over Angbar.
Yeah.
Right up here. This is
Okay.
just German language here. So over Angbar means over Angbar. That'll be upriver, so you'll be able to take that down. It's navigable from, I believe, just north of Vengtholm. And you can take it all the way down to here at Steinbrücken, and then you could take the road.
Still giant frogs in the river, right?
No giant frogs, as far as you're aware.
Phase on.
Bears are tough enough. So she says, oh, then you'll be heading to Oldenbridge then, for passing through Oldenbridge.
Yes. Is it far? Not the best judge of distance.
It will be a few, let's see here. It will still be a few miles of walking. The river starts not far ahead. And we follow it down to Oldenbridge, but she looks around, she's like, oh, but my flock, my sheep have scattered. And if... She looks up. Oh, it will be night soon, too. If they are out in the night, the wolves will surely get to them.
Yeah, it turns over to Garen and Elwyn and says, you feel like rustling up some sheep for the lady?
Is there a clean barn that we could at least sleep in for the night if we help?
She looks and she says, if you could help that, I am certain, not only would you be able to stay at the grain room, you would be treated and welcomed by Gunelda.
Well, let's gather up some sheep.
Yeah, any goodwill that lets me rest and recover would be appreciated.
Okay.
Yeah, a little.
So what, and again, just as a reminder, we talked about this before, but in those regeneration phase, if you're in a comfortable environment, that not only allows you to recover the full D6, you actually get a bonus to it as well. So on top of the bonus that Garen has granted with his treatment, you'd also be getting that. So the chance of getting back your karma points, your arcane points, and depending how long you rest, depends on that. So you guys only have, turns out that Irni has 18 sheep that are scattered everywhere. To catch a sheep, you're going to need to make some skill checks. And those will include things like body control to just run them down, or animal lore to know how to trap them, or any convincing pitch that you can give me of how you're going to catch these things. I am open to it. This is going to be what's called a cumulative check. And what we're trying to do is stack up a number of quality levels before you run out of time with checks. So you guys have 10 for the chase. Yeah, you'll want to get 18, and you have every stage of this will be 5 minutes. So I'm just double checking. I think you each get to make a check in. Make a check every 5 minutes. Yeah, okay. So you all have 10 chances to get 18. Obviously, like, however many you recover is however many you recover. But what are you thinking, guys? Animal lore, body control are the two suggested ones. But if you've got...
I
you've
have
actually...
animal lore.
You've healed up... Irmi, she can actually help now too.
That's good.
Yeah.
Because Thalion is not made for body control at all, so he'll take over, keep an eye on the little lamb so it doesn't run off, and then see if he can maybe use some animal lore to figure out tips to...
Sure.
He's really not skilled at this particular.
Again, if you have another skill that you think you might be able to use, I'm open. This is this is the kind of dark eye version of skill challenges.
Sadly, no.
Okay. I'm a book learner, not a...
Unless I can make some kind of alchemical thing that attracts the sheep out of their urine or something.
Unfortunately, I don't think you have any alchemical kit on your... Yeah. So,
I mean, he's got 1 SP in animal lore. That's probably what he can help with.
okay. So let's start. Why don't you kick things off here, Talion? First, this is we'll go up to 10. So first round.
Okay, challenging.
It is a challenging check. Yeah.
Okay, let's see if he can say, here sheep, come sheep. No.
No luck with him thus far. Garen or Elwene, which would you like to try first?
Um,
How do you think you're trying to track down these sheep?
Yeah, I don't know.
There is a tracking skill if somebody has that.
Yeah, I was thinking maybe just trying to run around and try and find them.
Yep, that's his body control then.
Okay.
Okay.
and we can mix it up, right?
Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah.
Success with 2 quality levels.
Nice.
In the first 5 minutes, Elwene, you come back with a sheep under each arm. You know what I'll do, guys? I loaded this image not just to show you the lovely little fluffy sheep, but I wanted to track your successes on here too.
Nice.
So, here we go. We want this here. Player permissions, visible to editors. It is 18 sheep you need. All you guys have access to that. Elwene, would you like to add 2 sheep to the total, please? And then Garen, what are you thinking?
I'm gonna do animal lore first here. See what I know about sheep and their patterns to round them up.
Okay.
So it's just a normal check, right?
A challenging check, yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
That's 1 sheep. Hey, look at that one over there.
Okay.
Go ahead and add 1 to the total.
Okay.
And then, John, would you give us a 3d20 roll? And I'll just read them along. Her stats are 11, 11, 10 with a skill rating of 7.
So you made it?
Made it, which means she recovers 3. You can go ahead and add 3 to there.
Well, double duty there.
Okay. Then, that is the first 5 minutes, guys. You rounded up 6 of them. Who wants to go next?
Do you need to have SP and a skill to use it?
No, you can try.
I think he's going to try to, you think, tracking to see if some of them that got a little out further than we thought to track them down?
Yeah, you could try.
Okay, let's get...
The difficulty with it is if you've gotten 0 skill rating, that means your maximum success is 1.
Yeah. It's better than that. Well, just barely failed that one.
Okay, so Thalion is trying to, follow the tracks of some of these things, and turns out it's a lot harder than Garen makes it look. Elwene or
that's a
Garen?
knack for it, but...
Yeah. What are you thinking?
I'm ready to just physically try and grab some this round.
Go ahead.
Yes.
Nice. 3 of them. So you got 1 on each arm, and you're sort of like kicking 1 to keep it moving in the right direction.
Moving it back, yeah.
Okay. Elwene, what do you think?
Animal arm maybe this time. She's gonna. Oh, I think they like to eat blueberries. We saw them not too long ago.
You did
right?
smell blueberries not long ago, yeah. It turns out there are no sheep near the blueberries. So.
Wow. You could spend it here. Fate point.
Um,
You got 2.
why are you suffering -4? I guess -2 from the pain. No, -1 from the pain. What the heck is... your encumbrance will also affect here. So it'll be -1 for the encumbrance, -1 for that, and your rapture is not helpful right now.
Oh, I'm in a -4 state right now.
Yeah.
So between
Oh
pain
my goodness.
and rapture
Okay.
and encumbrance. Yeah, that's.
Elwene is like calling for these sheep as if she's trying to drill soldiers for this, and it is not proving successful at all. John, you would give us a 3d6 or 3d20 roll.
Sure.
Oh, shit, she fails.
Help.
Yeah, even with a skill point. So Irni doesn't help this round. Round number 3.
Alrighty. Well, I think Thalion's going to try to grab a few. Even though...
Body control?
Yep.
Okay.
No.
No.
He is not good at this.
-7. So yeah, that is a... that is not... Come here, you stupid sheep. Elwene or Garen, what are you thinking?
Well, I'm going to go physical again.
Okay.
It's my best chance here.
It did work out
Round
pretty
them
well
up.
for you.
Oh.
It's all,
Gross.
you could fake point that, I guess, but all the easy.
No. Yeah. I don't think I want to waste a fate point on the sheep.
Okay. Elwene?
I'm gonna run around again too, because clearly they're not listening to me when I call.
Okay. Nice. Now, oh yeah, body control is not a... is that... Did I say that was one of the ones for... Rondra, though? I know it was all your...
It was, yeah.
It was all your close combat, right? And then... Church of... Here we go.
Yeah, because it doesn't look like it's applying the...
Yeah,
the big-
body control is a favored skill with Rondra, so actually, that should be... Well, that 20 is going to hoop you, but let's just see what the roll would have been if your stats were 4 higher, because it would have been +2 instead of the minus... Is it +2 or +1 at...
she's currently at Rapture 2, right? It's
Yeah.
+1.
Rapture 2 is +1, so it'd be 3 higher. So... That would have been a success with Constitution, which gives you 3 leftovers, and that would have been 6. So you would have needed 4 skill points in order to succeed. That's a success with 1 quality level. So you're racing after this thing, bellowing at it, Elwene, and what do we see as you capture one of these things?
Yeah, she's just, by the grace of her God, channeling her energy so she has the wherewithal to like keep her body moving because she's so tired and exhausted.
Yeah. Okay, then give us a 3d20 roll there, please, Thalion. Oh, shit. Oh, hold on. That first one is failed by 8. So, yeah, unfortunately, she can't get him either. That is number 4. Who's going next? Thalion, or Garen, you want to take a lead?
I'm going to try my animal lore again. These ones are stubborn.
Mm-hmm. Try and outthink them.
Outsmart them.
Yep. There's one more. And one more to the herd. Thalion or Elwene? What are you thinking?
I think I'm gonna try animal lore as well, if that's okay.
Yeah.
Because he's got no other option. They could. Hey.
Nice. Yeah, you finally figured one out. Okay, one more.
I got one. It's got like a kind of like a awkward leg or something. That's why I couldn't run from him.
Yeah. One more sheep recovered. Elwene?
Well, perception.
Yeah, sure.
Just like I'm tired of running around. I gotta figure out where they're going. Oh, look at Garen.
So perception is one that is not a favored of Rondra, though. Rondra. Like, for instance, if you wanted to do body control again and just race after this thing, we'd just put a modifier of 3 in your roll.
Oh, okay.
Because that'll offset the penalty from fervor and then grant the bonus that you get from the favored of Rondra.
Okay, body control using my points, and so it's a plus. What?
You don't have to use any points for this. This is because you're in the state of fervor, you get +1 to all the skills that are favored by Rondra.
Okay.
Yeah, you don't need to spend any karma points for this.
Okay. So it's just a modifier of what?
3 total. Nice.
20.
Holy shit. But he's still a success, though.
Yeah.
Because of their skills. Yeah, so that's a quality level of 1. You got another one. And then... Sean, would you roll for
Yes.
Earme?
Come on. Yes.
Yes, that is another. She didn't need any points, so that's another 3 she recovers.
Okay, there's only 3 left we got to find. Do we have time?
You still have another 25 minutes. Another 20 minutes, forgive me. No, 25, because every 5 minutes. Yeah, another 25 minutes to do this. So, Garen? Or whoever would like to go first?
I got it. I'm running around like a maniac.
Here we go. That's 2 more sheep. Nice.
I'll go next. And Thalion's like, let me use my brain here. We already know all we do know about sheep, but Elwyn did... how to pronounce it?
Elwene.
She did say that they'd like certain plants, so he's going to think about it and use plant lore to locate plants nearby that they might have gone to.
Sure.
Hey, I got one.
There you go. And you find
the last one.
The last one of the herd that is doing. Guys, you've successfully recovered all the sheep. Everybody gets a fate point. So, and with time to spare, you still got 25 minutes before really it would start getting dark. Irwin is absolutely delighted. She cannot believe that you managed to get all 18 sheep back. She is going to be very happy to introduce you to everyone at Olden Bridge. So, this also gives you an opportunity to study the pitfalls of the mountainous landscape. Like, these sheep are clearly acquainted with this kind of surrounding, but you certainly would not want to be stumbling around here in the dark on your own. There's plenty of perilous places. Talion, you're actually, you're a little bit of a shut-in as far as your apprenticeship is concerned, but anyone who grows up in the Principality of Kosh would know what a trip to the mountains would be like, right?
And I am sorely without energy to cast a light spell, so...
Oh, yeah. Yeah. All right. So then
I have a torch somewhere. I do have a torch, but I don't want to light it.
she asks if are you please, if you would, if you're planning on going to Oldenbridge anyway, if I could take you there, I can introduce you to Gunelda. I'm certain she and everyone in the village will be grateful for saving me and the sheep. And yes. She gestures to you, Elwene. There is a blessed one of Prios who ministers to our village as well.
Could use a good rest. That bear took a lot out of me.
Okay. So because of
your...
your...
probably set that a little more wild-eyed and...
So it is a few miles, so it's probably... honestly, it probably isn't enough time for your... By the time you reach there, Elwene, you're still going to be kind of jazzed up on this, so you're going to have the benefit of the fervor of Rondra with you. But let me show you guys what you come upon as you reach Oldenbridge.
All about the fervor.
Yeah, it's a really neat mechanic. That the more you use it, like it really, I think, reinforces the fact that you are channeling the power of a god, as opposed to what Thalian's doing and manipulating, fundamental forces. All right, so guys, let me bring you on over here. Put this in the right layer here. It's not surprising, incidentally, for you guys to have run into someone like this. The bear being around, this is sort of one of the reasons why you're traveling with Thalian, is in the event of, kind of dangerous wildlife causing problems.
Yeah, Thalian thanks you because he does not want to be eaten, because he would have been. He was only as brave as he was because you guys were there.
Ooh, so it nice. Is about an hour and a half. The passage through here too. One of the things where the Principality of Kosh is exceptional is just how beautiful it is and how relatively civilized. Like if you wanted to pick a place that was quite kind of homey, the hill dwarves in Kosh are about as close as you're going to get to hobbits. They have very comfortable circumstances. They engage in commerce. They enjoy things like food and song and whatnot, as do the people of Kosh, the grand folks and the low folks. One thing you did not, maybe Talion may not recognize this, being that you're from Kosh, but Wene, you've got a fair bit of training in etiquette. And one of the things that you've noticed is that the high folk in the Principality are much more base than what the folks in your... If you're going to Gareth, there is balls with etiquette and gossip and all the things you would expect from a kind of a high court. You have heard of the families of nobles, like the children of nobles, apprenticing with burghers and with craftsfolk, which is just unthinkable in Gareth. But there's just much more of a interclass kind of movement in Kosh. More down to earth, 100%. Yeah.
Connecting with the lower levels and caste.
And let me show you guys what Oldenbridge looks like too, because there's some great illustrations in the adventure. It's just kind of what you're seeing here, guys. And you guys will be coming in on the north side of the river there. The river itself is... where is it here? It is called... and perhaps Irwin is kind of jawing away about this as you're making your way in. Hold up here. Baumel. The Baumel River. I'll put that in chat here. she tells you that Olden Bridge is not a massive thing, but they have separations. There's Olden Bridge technically is on the north side of the river. Overbridge is on the south side. They have a tavern, which is the Grain Room. It is operated by someone named Gunelda, spelt Grain, and she talks about how she will feed you. She knows that there has been some game that has come in recently, so perhaps a stew, perhaps a roast even, she will treat you with. There is also a dwarf named Rabosh who operates a smithy here, so whether you need anything repaired or whatnot. And there is a grocer's as well. And she assures you that at Edel's Grocery, if you require anything for your trips to resupply, Edel's may handle that for you as well. Have you any questions for her, or do you guys direct the conversation with her to anything, or are you just looking forward to just getting out of here and seeing what the Green Room is like?
Valiant's always interested in goings on and gossip. Knowledge is power. So he asked her if there's, aside from the bear, anything weird going on in the area?
Strange, let's see here. Why don't you give us... like, you're not fast-talking her. I think it's persuasion, probably. And why don't you make that at very easy?
Okay, very easy.
Look at that. So, she says that, this bear will certainly be the most interesting thing that has happened in here for certainly the most dangerous, but it is a little odd that it seems like there's been a pall over the village the last little bit, and I know that I think business at the grain, where is it here? The Grain Room. Business at the Grain Room has been quite good, I thought, but our blessed one, Prayonda, mentioned that she's been late in her tithe this year. I've heard that Gunelda is wrapped up in paperwork, but we're fortunate that we recovered all of these sheep, because had we lost any, it does seem like everyone is more hard up right now, and I wonder if Gunelda has been extending credit rather than collecting payment from people for the Grain Room is... well, you will see. Everyone is at the Grain Room. And I wonder if she is behind on that because other people are... I mean, the flocks are not short, and the foot traffic seems busy as it ever is, but I don't know why she would be behind on her tithing. And Albany, you would know, even gripped with rapture, that Prios, the Church of Prios, if she's operating here, it's a tithe that will be paid to the count, which is then paid to the church in Gareth. So that is the only...
Do we know what the repercussions of not tithing on time is?
usually, depending on... Well, actually, what am I talking about? She probably doesn't know. She doesn't have any earthly idea. But what you could do is... you've got a bunch of knowledges, right?
Nobility?
Geography, history, magical lore. I got some in religion.
Yeah, history would. And sorry, Dave, what did you say you have?
Religion.
Religion, probably not.
Law?
Law, absolutely.
We make a law check. Kev, do we need a token law check in our game?
You can make a law check. Jeez, boy, talking about sucking up to the GM. I think you get a fate point for that. Holy shit.
They say GM can award stuff for
or the Spielmaster.
Or to make everybody laugh.
I guess Spielmeister is what it would be. So, yeah. Elwene, why don't you give us a law check at easy. And Talion, you can give us a history check at easy if you'd like.
Okay.
Okay, both successes, both quality level 2 in Talion. So, Talion, you would know, and also, you know what, because you're... Well, let me tell you what each of you would have with this. For one, Elwene, what you would know is that it's a legal obligation, so it's something the town has to pony up, and it's through the Church of Prios. It would be an extreme reaction, but if someone is not supporting the Imperial Church, there's potentially religious consequences for that, and religion doesn't tend to treat things lightly. The Church of Prios has been the source of inquisitions in the past. The Church of Rondra would be the source of military, expeditions and things like that. But the Church of Prios, it would not be unknown for them. In fact, there are inquisitors located in Furdok, one of the other major trade centers in Kosh. And so, yeah, in theory, that could be the case. Talion, what your role would tell you is that, this is the kind of thing where a village the size that she's describing, it's going to be a warning, but, it's not something to be treated lightly if it keeps recurring.
Gotcha. Well, I'm just leaning into his negative trait of curiosity, just to get into the gossip and to know stuff.
Yeah.
But if
He's like,
Green Room has been busy. Is the rest of the town suffering in some way?
No, I mean there is
people going to drink because there's some kind of trauma, some kind of evil lurking, or
it's not evil. Edel Algerine, he said that he was missing his... He had mentioned he thought he was missing his purse. Edel runs the grocers there. It doesn't stop his wife from getting drunk every night. And I mean, the last time I was in the grain room, she was so drunk she said that she saw a dragon.
Probably a fang dragon.
Perhaps a fang dragon.
Oh God.
Talion, you could give us a monster, or what is it? Not monster.
Legends?
Yeah, myths and legends, or magical, if you'd like.
Yeah, it's I'll go magical if that's an option.
Okay. Yeah, no, it'll be easy.
Okay. Any barrows nearby that I have to worry about?
It's quality level 4. So that there is actually... So dragons in this setting are something kind of neat where they are sort of there are dragons that are akin to gods, things that have been entrusted. The religious text will tell you that there are 6 dragons that were basically tasked by the gods to be sort of the protectors of the fundament. And they're not necessarily worshipped, but they are part of, at least not if you're a venerator of the 12 gods, but they're part of sort of the cosmology as underlings of that. There are also debased versions of dragons because there was one renegade who, it said, the long lost race of the lizard folk who have, I think it's the Ahas. There's a name for them. Their time has long passed, but it's said that this corrupted dragon led them at one point on a near successful genocidal campaign against the other species. There are debased versions of dragons, and these can go from the things that you would think that would be brilliant and whatever. They are most often exceptionally fucking cruel, to the point of like seeming to draw nourishment from the most debased of actions. This is a German game that really tries to evoke the sort of German folk tales thing. So children and virgins being a favored snack for dragons is a thing in the setting. But what your four quality levels of success there tells me is that you've been thinking about something that's out here. There are tree dragons found in these mountains.
Oh.
Tree dragons, I can show you an illustration of what you saw or read about in a book, Talion. And tree dragons are about, between 3 and 5 feet long. You have not seen one, I don't think.
Oh, but he wants to.
But this is what a tree dragon looks like.
Okay, what is my familiar now? Does it breathe splinters?
Okay, give me a sec here. Because of your roll, I actually have the bestiary, and I think I can give you some actual knowledge here that you know about them. Here we go. So here's what you know about tree dragons with 4 quality levels. Remember, you cap out at 6, generally speaking. So here's what you've read about tree dragons. Tree dragons.
For the game to play into his bookworm.
Tree dragons become aggressive when you threaten their nest. They like shiny objects. You can lure them with shiny objects. They can use their fire breath 5 times in a day. You can dodge their fire breath if you know how they set up their attacks. So, yeah, 3 to 5 foot long dragon that likes shiny things. And to tie this into the gossip that you had heard, she said it's Edel's wife who says that she saw the dragon, but she gets drunk like just blotto every night, and Edel doesn't seem to pay because he said, or at least he says he lost his purse, and then he also has her getting drunk every night. So what's going on there?
The grocer's wife. Okay.
Yeah.
He gets this contemplative look on his face. He's like, like he's putting 2 and 2 together. He doesn't say anything to the girl. He just looks at his companion as, we should talk later.
Okay. Anything else you guys wish to ask of Irney before you guys reach Oldenbridge?
No, I ain't got nothing else.
Okay.
You guys?
Nothing in particular, no.
Are these tree dragons of stealing from townspeople?
So she's Erwin has dismissed it as like she's a drunk, so make nothing of it. Thalion is the one who is like, wait, what dragon?
Yeah, Thalion might look over and say, you might have some merit to it.
Okay.
But when he's like still kind of calming down and it's like, sounds like great. We have to go out dragon hunting.
Dragon hunting. This is exactly the kind of thing that Rhonda approves.
Oh yeah, you add Dragon Slayer to your title there, L1A.
So interesting tidbit.
Gladly.
Dragon Slayer, because dragons have a specific. This is something you would know, Talion. Dragons in this setting have a specific thing in their heart, and if you prepare it and consume it or something like that, it can actually change you. You can gain abilities as a dragon slayer that actually might be passed down to children.
Even the little dragons?
It is commensurate in its power. It is not like a cave dragon or a mighty 3-headed wyvern. But even tree dragons are still dragons.
Okay.
I think we will go hunt.
Like the goal is Thalion's bucket list. He's moved from the bottom near the top now.
Okay.
Dragon hunting. Okay. Sounds
So
good.
as you guys are making your way in here, here's a couple things I'll point out to you. Bolron is one of the 12 gods. Bolron is the god of death. It's also the god of sleep and dreams, incidentally.
We've
and
dodged them today.
So Bolron's yard is located over there. You can see the Shrine of Prios there. There are some houses on Olden Bridge. You pass the mill, or no doubt the local farmers bring their stuff in. And passing over the bridge, you'll go into Overbridge, where there's the grocers. You can see Eddles, it says outside. There is the smithy, and there is no one there right now. The big double doors are closed, but that probably speaks some more of the time of day. And then there is, finally, the tavern, the grain room. As you're making your way through town, chickens cluck and scratch around some homes at the edge of town, and meadows for sheep and goats stretch away up the slope. Closer to town, orchards spread out in ordered rows. And you'd guess that there's probably about 120 people that live in the village right now. And I think, Garen, you're probably the one who's the most acquainted with sort of like small town life. Like, this would be hard work, right? Like, this would be hard life, not only for farming or being a maintaining orchards or livestock, but also in the Kosh Mountains, right? Like, this is the mountain weather can be temperamental.
Right.
So, but yeah, if you unless there's anywhere you guys wish to stay, you guys can. She needs to. If you don't mind waiting for her, she says she will introduce you to everyone at the grain room.
Oh, for sure.
But
yeah,
she just needs to.
Sheep put away though.
Yeah, she just needs to put her. I'll put the sheep away first, and then she'll bring you in. And if that is fine, again, she's shocked that you guys managed to bring all of them back. Like, she did not think that was going to happen, but
those two did most of the work. You helped a lot too. I got two.
It was our pleasure, man.
So, if you guys are heading over to the grain room, let me give you just this is not a illustration from the adventure, but it is from the GM screen, which I think is pretty awesome.
Very nice.
Yeah,
I like that. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, the art in the game is fucking awesome. I really like it.
Flipping through the book, I was like, I'm a fan of Pathfinder 1 and their art style, but this is almost better in my opinion.
Oh wow, yeah. It's incredible. And every one of them is equally high quality stuff. Okay, so you guys make your way in to the common room. The common room is in the grain room. So first off, there is two levels to this place. The upper floor looks like it has a balcony that has flowers and such that are set on it. If you make your way in, you can see that there is a young woman in her early 20s with long blonde hair and pouty lips, who is our waitress. And she looks over and she kind of gives a, well, hello, in your direction, Garen. And then recognizes Irni. So her name is unusual, so it's tough to stick in unusual for my ears, so it's tough to stick in my head. She recognizes them, and Irni goes over and explains what has happened. And as she's doing so and getting more agitated, you can see more and more people in the room are kind of stopping to look over and see what's going on. And there is a woman who seems to have been listening and then makes her way over to you.
Am I still in Rapture 2, Kev?
Unfortunately, your rapture goes down for another hour, or then it'll go down 1, and then 2 hours later it'll go down 1 more.
Okay.
Yeah, you're a mystic.
Yeah, that once Stallion's in there,
Wounded.
I'm gonna take down his mage hood and let his blonde hair like air out and just enjoy the sights and smells, because outdoors is nice, but he prefers indoors.
Yeah. So this is who, finally, as you guys are talking, you maybe, do you take a seat, or do you wait to be told where to go, or what?
Stallion thinks he'd follow the over to be introduced to people. So
okay. So she introduces you both, and introduces, a mage, a blessed one of Rondra, and a warrior or soldier of some kind. And she, as she's describing what's happened to the bear, there's more people who are like, what? A bear? What's happened? And it's very quick before you see someone else.
I think Ellen is trying to like hold it together, and she just like, no, I'm just gonna sit down at a table, and heck, there might even be people sitting there already. She's
you got like bear claws digging through your armor and some gnarly scars forming. So
yeah, she's wounded and tired and full of rapture right now, and she just doesn't have time for this. And you guys can keep going, but she just like,
yeah. So you sit down, and there is a kind of an empty table, I'm assuming you sit down at, and that's when this person comes walking over. And she walks with like as if she kind of owns the place as well, and says, well, greetings of Travia. What can I bring you good people today? And I say, oh, and that's when Ernie kind of fills her in of what's happened. You overhear that the waitress's name is Ulmia. And Ulmia, now that they saved Ernie from a bear. And she says, I'm sorry, did you, and looks over at you, travelers, is that true?
Yes, unfortunately.
Well, I singed its fur a little bit, but I think Elwyn over here took the most beating from it.
Well, I think and she looks down. Well, my dear, each of you sit. I know just the thing. She gestures to Ulmia. Ulmia, dear, bring those over. And the waitress quickly goes over and brings 3 frothing mugs of beer and sets them down in front of you. She then says, please, you can, and she gestures, and she doesn't ask whether you are lettered or not, but she does put down the grain room menu.
Yeah. Valiant look at the menu. He looks over and says, Ermi, are your wounds fully closed up, or?
Oh, here you go.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah. Koshwater, incidentally, is...
Check my coin.
Yeah, remember the kreutzers are iron coins. Hollers are bronze. Silver thalers are silver. And I don't think anything costs ducats here. If you start looking at the cost here, everything is in basically goes up in increments of 10 or factors of 10. So, 10 hollers make up 1 silver thaler, 10 silver thalers make up 1 ducat, 10 kreutzers make up 1 holler, and so forth. You guys all have a number of silver thalers on you. But she says, I know, and she says, please take a look, but I know. I have just the thing. A nice roast. You'll like it. And she winks at you as she turns around and heads to the kitchen. You guys are very quickly surrounded by a crowd of Oldenbridgers who want to hear all about your heroic deeds. People are clapping on the shoulders respectfully. They raise their mugs in agreement. One person plays a tune on a squeeze bag, while another assembles some bagpipes, preparing to entertain you with the folk instrument's unique sounds. Before you know what's happening, you are paraded on heavy charge all through the tavern, and people praise you in song. There is a muscular dwarf, the village's smith, tells you that a shepherd was actually attacked by a bear some months ago. He wasn't as lucky as Irmi. The bones are buried in Boron's yard outside the village. It seems, if this is not obvious to you, not everyone in Aventuria is experienced as fighting as you, and would that you had not come across Irni, she would be joining that other shepherd in Boren's yard as well.
Glad we were there.
Yeah. Hate for such a fate to befall one of your good townsfolk.
We certainly would. So they tell you that the Bridge Brew, a local brew that is built in-house at the grain room, the very best, and that is what you're being served. If you're going to go beyond the first, then maybe we need to start thinking of rolling carousing to see how you handle your intoxication. But the Olden Bridgers have questions for you. Now, Elwene, you're going to be able to drop your level of rapture down by 1.
That's great, because she's like, get all excited for the first little while, and then she's like, oh my gosh.
Okay.
Alien's not a big drinker, but he'll take the first one.
Okay. If you do not drink much more, then what Gunelda will tell you is that we have rooms upstairs, a private room. It will be on the house, as will be your meals for this evening. So while you're free to make selections off of the menu, understand that we will be taking no coin from you tonight.
What if I buy the place around?
You could do that. In these times, it's always welcome.
Because Thalia might not be a big drinker, but this is probably like a festival day for most of them here.
Yeah. Oddly enough, it's getting close to... you kind of lost track of the day, but it's getting close to year's end and the nameless days. Each month is named after one of the 12 gods, and then there is a period afterwards that is named after something we have not discussed yet. The Nameless God.
Nameless one?
The Nameless one.
13.
The 13th god. He or she or it or they is said to have tried to betray all 12 other gods and have torn a hole in the spheres and let loose demons upon this sphere. Once they were defeated, the Nameless One was chained to that hole to seal it. And there to this day he remains, but whispers to some, seeking release. And his insidious whispers can in fact even infect those. It's said that reading his scriptures, and Elwene, you would be informed of this as a blessed one, reading the blasphemous liturgies of the Nameless One can actually infect the mind. In the same way that rapture can affect you when you are working spells, it's said that the Nameless One can take hold of you simply by reading the strictures.
George isn't allowed to play in this campaign.
Someone has to bring George's energy.
Yeah.
No.
Alien's like, yeah, bring it on.
Oh, I have Ragash. Hold on.
Okay.
Let me give you his picture as well, too. This is the smith who is in town. Oh, Rabash, not Ragash.
Don't worry, Thalia won't actually read it unless he does it by accident. So
Here you
he's
go.
not a fool.
So there is Rabash. Now, here are some of the questions that will be coming to you over the course of this thing. There's a very neat thing of how they do in this adventure. They give you like a name generator for patrons of how to kind of come up with the people you're talking to, and then little tidbits of what the villagers will ask you and information that you may gather from just talking to the people in the tavern. It's really, really neat. Like you can feel free to make use of like carousing checks or things like that to try and specifically gather information as well too. But they want to know a little bit about you guys. So first off, there is Garen, as a fetching young lad, who's quick with a blade and light on his feet. Do you have any training? Or do any of you guys have training in dancing at all?
Oh, maybe.
Nope.
Is that a social
okay
skill?
Physical.
Oh, physical. No. You'd have an SP, right? If you were
You would
training?
have skill points in it if you had it.
Yeah, no.
Okay.
Unfortunately not.
Not yet. Not yet.
Not yet.
I have carousing.
If you've got carousing, you want to give us a carousing check at very easy?
Yeah. Okay. Very easy.
Nice. All right. So, anything that you're particularly asking about?
I mean, I think that Garen, I mean, one of his defaults is like, maybe we could earn some coin here. They're not the richest place, but
Do you say that out loud?
yeah.
The Thalian leans over. I think they're in money trouble already, remember?
Oh, damn, you're right. Maybe there's something we could do to help that.
Yeah, you could lose your money on purpose.
Well, I mean, Edel Algerine, he sells everything that you might need.
Maybe if we were to just help by supporting the community a little.
Yeah. I mean, Edel says, and this is someone else might interject with it, that like if anything you buy from Edel, his wife will drink it away.
Right.
It'd be better, giving our money to the temple priestess if she's offsetting everybody else's debts.
Prianda.
Yeah, Miranda.
Yeah, if Prianda would... it's curious she's not here tonight. But she... if... I don't know if you're talking to randos, they don't necessarily know that Gonelda is behind on, or has been behind on her tithing.
Right.
But, yeah, so here's some other tidbits you hear. If you ask about the roast that you were served, there's a local huntress named Jedwina, who lives nearby. Jedwina lives at a hunting lodge that on her own. You'd think she's like one of those elves, just wanting to live off on her own nearby. Although we have one of those living nearby too.
Oh, that immediately gets Thalian's attention.
Yeah, we don't. What's his name again? It's we don't see him really. I don't think he has much interest in us, and to be honest, if he's not willing to, start maintaining or managing an orchard, I don't know how much I'd want to see him around anyway. And they all kind of laugh at that.
Yeah, Thalian mentions offhand that it was a group of elves that came to his master's tower that got him venturing in the first place.
Really? Mm-hmm. Then maybe you would want to chat with him. I can't remember his name, but he's on the south side of the river to the west. You can find him if you want to talk to him, that is. Although, I'm trying to find what Edel's wife's name is, because I'm sure it's in here. Edel's wife, Winelda. Winelda. I mean, she'll warn you about the dragon, and you can see this kind of very red-faced woman seems to overhear, like the way that someone turns when they hear their name said, spins around, and she just has the look of someone who is very deep into her cups. Did someone mention me? You say good things about me to new people, and if you're dealing with bears, I hope you're ready to deal with dragons too. And someone's like, "Shut up, you drunk cow!" And the crowd kind of jumps, and then the musicians Ganelda looks over at the musicians, and they started making more noise to drown out the arguing between these people.
Thalian kind of smiles and takes a drink and says, "Did you know that I read a book once that said there should be wood dragons in these hills somewhere? It's an old book, but maybe she did see something.
Really?
They're only about yay big, maybe."
Bears, dragons, and the nameless days upon us soon. Ill tidings for bad times. The new year cannot come fast enough. Pry us, protect us. One of the things that comes up over the course of your discussions is someone asks, where do you come from?
Oh.
Gareth.
I did.
You're originally from Gareth, yeah.
Right.
We came from the northwest, I guess.
Oh,
So-
you have northwest. You're from Grecia. That is the province where Gareth is located.
Oh, yeah. Well, weren't we recently just at that old dwarven community, the kitchen?
Yeah. Let me get the map out here. It was, Koshich, wasn't it?
Cushion?
Something like that.
That sounds right.
Yeah, here we go. I've got the map here. Maybe I'll put it in as a handout for you guys, too. Kosh Mountains, Eastern Kosh, here we go. There's the map, guys. Koshim, yeah, you're absolutely right. Oh, you're seeing the dwarves then. What was your business up there?
Oh.
You guys can make it whatever you like. It was, it was something to do with giving information about some, artifact. Maybe there was a small adventure there, perhaps something involving ghosts.
Mm-hmm. Well, Thalian says, my Magister Ulrich Dagobor, my master, who educated me on the ways of magic, some elves of his, friends of his, wanted to get him to come with him on a journey, and he was getting old in his years and didn't think he could make the journey, so I was voluntold to assist them.
Oh.
And that eventually led me to Koshim.
And that you two went with him.
Somebody's got to keep him from getting eaten by bears.
Yes, it would have definitely have eaten me. Yes.
Everyone's kind of agrees, like, oh yeah. Do you? And they gesture at Rondra's crest. Do you use that thing often, my lady?
Is it necessary? And sometimes a little extra.
And sometimes
a little extra.
They kind of realize you're joking, and then like, yeah.
I was like, I wish I could use my staff as well as she uses that sword. So he holds it up and says, "You ever seen a wizard staff?" Yeah. Can't break it.
Oh. And if you get them to try, like, if you let them do it, yeah, there's a couple of, like, the bigger lads who are going to try and make use of it, and it's 100% correct. Cannot
it
break
takes a very specific spell, a disruption, or something else to break it. And
yeah.
Like,
no, trying to break it over each other's heads.
I'm sure they'll break their heads first.
So here's some other gossip that you pick up over the course. For one, it seems like some people are turning in, even though like they're having a really lovely time with you, and it seems like everyone is genuinely grateful for, a village of 120 people. A young person like Irwin dying would have been, a huge shock to the community. They're grateful for that, and I can't believe you took the time to save all the sheep as well. And it's still, in spite of all that, they have to go home because they need to prepare for tomorrow's tithe. They're going to be needing to turn over. The nameless days are coming. That tithe needs to be in before, that time comes.
What is the tithe consist of? Like, of your grain, your coin?
It would be something. So you would have paid yours likely wherever you reside. You wouldn't be expected to be contributing towards this because you're not residents here. You're passing through, right?
Yeah.
So it's expected that you would have made whatever tithes. Or in Elwene's case, she's a blessed one. She would be collecting on behalf of. No, she wouldn't be. You may be exempt from it actually because you're serving a different god, one of the 12 gods.
Yeah.
Garen, you fucking no good mercenary. You better pay up your tithe.
I don't know if Thalion's or not. It didn't say on his sheet, so.
It doesn't. Sorry.
It doesn't say if Thalion has a deity or a patron or anything. So.
So actually, interesting enough, it's the goddess of wisdom. Whose name?
Oh.
Yeah, wisdom and magic. In fact,
Cool.
her name is Hesinda. Hesinda is the goddess of crafts, magic, and knowledge. And not
That
for
sounds
nothing,
perfect.
the only blessed one that can also learn magic is a priest of Hesinda.
Way to throw that hook, Kevin.
Yep. I thought of that. Might find some fertile ground there if I plant that seed.
So
So
it was
here's
planted, and you just confirmed a path.
so here is another less sort of a less pressing, not less pleasant thing. They tell you and this is someone kind of drunk. They tell you don't bring anything to Rabosh if you need it fixed. He's the dwarven smith because his work has been terrible lately. Careless and just not like the old Rabosh. So don't do that if you need it.
That sounds like a thread Thalion will want to tug at.
Other than portable posh.
Does he can get any? Think he can get any dirt on that? Find out what's going on.
You could try. Oh, Garen, you also asked around. Here's something else. When you ask about people, is there any work for coin? The funny thing is, it seems like there's been some precious things. People aren't talking about it openly, but somebody's stealing shit in town.
Oh, that's exactly the kind of thing that I'm talking about, Thalion.
But it's different precious things I've heard, and I haven't heard a trend of it. This is, I think, Bolzer. Bolzer Sweetbush is who you're talking to. This is your new friend.
Bolzer.
Bolzer Sweetbush. Let's put him in chat so he's canon. What he tells you is that they're not talking about everyone's putting on happy faces, and this is a great reason to celebrate, but everyone's been having, it seems like a lot of people are having precious things go missing. And Garen, would you have let on that you actually you were a child in a small town as well before your mercenary life and whatnot, or?
Yeah, I think so.
So
I would be honest with them. I wouldn't be secretive.
Yeah. So he would say. So Bolzer would tell you, you know what it's like then. This, when you don't want to be thinking about that way about your neighbors.
No, exactly.
And it's just,
it's tough.
and
You
with-
almost need an outsider's eyes to help spot the rotten apple at the bunch.
who would, I don't know if she's got the wherewithal, but Pryonda, the Blessed One of Prios, if you talk to her, everyone talks to her, so she might have the full picture of what's going on.
It's worth checking, I'm sure.
Nothing to be lost from it. The one thing, thank Prios for Granelda. Granelda is, we didn't have this. He gestures at the grain room. If we didn't have this, then this is what brings everybody together still.
Yeah. Well, that's food for thought, and definitely something to look into. Not when we're having, and he'll cheers his beer to him or his ale. Not in the middle of drinks, and he'll have a big swig of his drink.
Nice, and he cheers you. Not tonight either.
No, not tonight.
So, Talion, there are, if you're interested in if you share anything about the tree dragon or your suspicions about that, there are some local myths and customs that the villagers may share with you if you're so inclined. Oh, you're muted, John. So we can toast Timo. Timo!
Yeah, Timo.
Yeah, he's totally interested in learning all he can about these local customs, especially when they have to do with tree dragons.
So the first thing they tell you about is the Ruckus Man.
Ruckus Man.
The Ruckus Man is a myth about a giant creature known to inhabit the region of Vagenholm. Vagenholm, you may remember, is that county that you're in and just to the north. Elweny, that's correct. But all one word. The Ruckus Man is known to inhabit the region of Vagenholm. And in the past, kobolds annoyed him with their spells so much that he drank a whole pond and walked into the forest to find the small fiends, his belly gurgling with water. And when he arrived, he emptied his bladder on the kobold's magic tree and they all drowned. If you believe the legend, the Ruckusmen are the reason that kobolds are exceedingly rare in Kosh. And they're all laughing, and the stories that they someone then gets up and is well, I've got to make like the Ruckusmen myself, and staggers outside to relieve himself.
Well, I heard this story once of a dwarf that threw a lake at some giants, but
that does it. You must be speaking to forged dwarves. There is also a tale about the last moon of Raja. This is the final month of before the nameless days. Around the end of the last moon of Raja, Koshans celebrate to build up their courage during the nameless days that follow, to drive away evil spirits. During a festival service, countless candles are lit and carried everywhere in the village, accompanied by cheerful singing, so that Prios's light can pierce the darkness. Not for nothing, Year's End Day in Olden Bridge is coming up not too soon. Depending on how long you plan on staying, you may be invited to participate in this ritual.
Well, depending on how things go with tree dragons and whatnot, might be for a little bit.
So did you hear about, if you mentioned that you were from Koshim, which is the dwarven kingdom that you came from, did you hear about the Alagrim?
Alagrim? Don't believe I had.
So for centuries, the magnificent firebird Alagrim was a symbol of the glorious victory of the dwarves who had banished the pawn of the divine dragon beneath their mountain kingdom, Koshim. But a few years ago, the creature escaped. In a destructive raid, it took revenge for its captivity, but it was defeated during the Battle of Angbar. Even though Koshans and dwarves fought against the danger together, many souls passed over the Nether Sea. Many Koshans knew people who lost their lives during the battle. For that reason, stories about the Alagrim are always tinged with sadness, but they also convey a burning pride in the heroic victory over the beasts. I think you obviously would be aware of this well, maybe you don't tell him because of your kind of sheltered upbringing. What do you think?
I think Thalion would definitely overshare of some of his knowledge, because I don't think he's got the whole everybody shouldn't know everything kind of thing going on.
Yeah.
So
also, he's probably one of those people who's because he's enthusiastic about learning and whatnot, he may assume that everyone is interested in knowing.
Yeah. And he's also vain about his knowledge, so that's one of his negative drawbacks. So
Yeah. So maybe it's you who tells people about the Alakrim, and they're like, yeah, I know I've got a extended cousin who died at Angbar. And let's see here. Well, I got two more for you. One is about two brothers. In Twarvenhold, there lived a man and his two sons. He favored the older son, so the younger son had to go out into the forest to gather wood. There, he found a gate in the rock deep in the valley encrusted with gold and jewels. Next to this gate, there was a door made of simple planks. The young man entered through the plain door because he was no lord. Behind the door, he found a room full of cobwebs and dust. He cleaned the room, swept away the dust, and washed the curtains. When he was done, a dwarf appeared with a big nose and a long beard. Because the boy was so good and hardworking, the dwarf gave him a shirt of gold and brocade that shone and glittered like the Angbar lake. So he ran back home. When his brother heard the story, he too went into the forest because he envied his brother's fine shirt. He found the door in the gate, and because he deemed himself fine and noble, he opened the door. Behind it, he found a palace with a splendid table. Friendly dwarves appeared and served him food the likes of which even the dear Empress has never seen. After he'd eaten, another dwarf appeared with a big nose and a long beard. And because the boy had been lazy and arrogant, the dwarf scolded him, pulled his hair, and beat him terribly. And so he ran back home, beaten black and blue. The moral: if you are good and hardworking, you will be rewarded in the end. If you are lazy and arrogant, the end will be full of pain. A very caution sentiment. And then the story of the angry dwarf. There was once a dwarf called Zolodosh. He was not a good man. He was angry and moody and had no friends. And because he had no friends and because nobody wanted to drink with him, he grew angrier and moodier. One day, while he broke stone deep in a mine, a mouse appeared and pulled on his beard. The dwarf turned red with anger and shouted and stomped so much the whole mountain shook. When he'd calmed down, there came a spider. It climbed down on the dwarf and pulled on his beard. Joladosh roared and flailed and screamed as only dwarves can, and the whole kosh shook. Even the spruces on the slopes began to shake. Some hours later, the dwarf had calmed down. Then came a beetle, black and round, landed on Joladosh's beard, and as if it was nothing, pulled it. The dwarf turned red like a coxcomb and puffed himself up until his cheeks were completely round, and then, with a large bang, the dwarf burst, and the sound could be heard even in Gareth. For that reason, as all children learn, you should never lead dwarves by the beard. Very likely a tale of the hill dwarves. Is there anything else you guys wish to do in your evening in the grain room? You can remove that last level of fervor as well. Or, not fervor, what is it?
Rapture.
Rapture, thank you.
Did you say there was a roll we had to make if we were drinking too much?
You absolutely do. Give us a carousing check. The first receives a bonus of 5. Each subsequent check made after drinking each tavern receives a cumulative penalty of -2. Each failed check, you gain a level of stupor.
Let's start with the +5.
Okay.
Wait, +5 to the first one?
5 is the modifier, +5, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. See how things are going.
It's pretty good.
Yeah, I'm feeling great.
Okay.
Everybody doing this?
If you want, if you're
Only
indulging
if you-
beyond a first drink, absolutely.
Yeah.
Give us a carousing roll there, Elwene.
She got it.
Yep.
Nice. Yep. So you guys, first round is fine. How deep do you wish to go? A reminder, when you hit 4 levels of stupor, that is when you pass out. So if you'd like to know if you intend on celebrating until you pass out, we'll keep going until which of you passes out. Garen and Alwene, which of you will drink the other under the table?
I'm wondering about pain thresholds. Does it help with pain? How many stupors do you cancel off pain? Because I'm still at 2 pain thresholds.
I don't think stupor, it would interact with it. You would actually pass out from stupor before the global modifier would hurt you, but it does not offset pain, unfortunately.
Yeah, stupor starts giving you negative to checks as soon as you start getting it. So
Yeah.
I think she'll just stop at the couple of minutes.
Okay.
Yeah, like I don't need to go crazy. That's for sure.
Okay.
yeah, Thalia needs to have his head on his shoulders to recover his energy. He's not doing that.
So I think here's the one thing you can do. So let's take a look at the regeneration phase, because, and remember, you get +2 to yours, Elwene, to your life points.
33.
Okay, so it's 6 hours of sleep you would need.
Yeah, I think they'll go to bed soon.
Yeah, so with a night of sleep in a good accommodation, you are each going to gain 1d6 plus 1 life points, arcane energy, and karma points back. And if you wish to sleep late, you can actually do that twice in a day.
Yeah, Thalian's definitely sleeping in.
Sleeping in, you got it. So go ahead and roll 2d6 plus 2 then for each of the ones that apply for you.
His life is good.
Garen, you're back to right as rain with one night's, just 6 hours.
Normal sleep, yeah.
So she's at 2d6 plus 2.
2d6 plus 2 if you're sleeping the full 12 hours, yeah. And that'll be for each, you roll it separately for each of them, so Talian's getting 9 arcane energy back.
And she gets a +2 on top of this from her...
Yes, from the treating of wounds for Garen.
+4?
Yeah. Whoa.
Nice roll.
Nice. So 14, was that your life points or your karma?
That was her life points.
Life points, nice.
Oh, and you get for karma too.
Yeah, you also roll the same 2d6 plus 2 for your karma. 11 back.
Nice. Good roll.
Okay. So, Talion, maybe, you know what? One of the things that interferes with mages is if you carry too much iron on you. If one of the reasons why mages don't wear armor and whatnot is because arcane iron will interfere with arcane energy. So if you happen to have too much on you, that will affect it. Do you think there's anything else that is affecting your sleep?
I think it's just he pretty much tapped himself out. Maybe even dug a little bit into his own vitality, just narratively speaking.
Yeah.
And just the running around trying to get sheep, and he just overextended himself completely the day before. And it finally caught up with him. So he's having trouble focusing enough to get his magic back.
Okay. Garen, you actually don't need as much. Are you back up to full, or are you one shy?
I'm 1 below.
Would you sleep the extra 6 hours, or would you get up and?
I'm trying to decide if he's feeling restless or. I think it's a case that he sees his friends are still asleep, and so he probably just rolls over. It's like nice to not be, we got somewhere to sleep.
Yeah.
We're comfortable. I think he would just get the extra sleep. So
sure.
I guess I don't really need to roll.
No, you just get one. Yeah, you get your last one back.
3. Yeah.
All right. So then, when you guys finally get up and make your way down in the morning, get yourself, ready. Elwene, you're still. I don't think you're not affected by pain any longer. But you're still kind of, you can feel the bumps and bruises from that scrap, and you're grateful for Garen's first aid for sure.
Oh yeah.
You enter the warm common room, somewhat sluggish. A few villagers are sitting together, eating their porridge before a hard day's work begins. Before you come down as well, Ganelda would bring a nice big bowl of hot water up for you so you can refresh yourself and get yourself ready for whatever you plan on doing with the day. Rabash, the smith, is mumbling something, and the others nod at you encouragingly and respectfully. You've shown that you can not only fight, you can also drink. The big-boned innkeeper, Ganelda, directs you to a table near the bar, and you can't believe your eyes. In addition to fresh rye bread, the table is set with a nice assortment of tasty things. You can see spiced mountain cheese, hard-cured boar sausage, gently smoked ham, and a sweet, warm porridge that smells delicious. If you look back, she winks at you and says, "You know, it is tithe day today. We all must do our part for the Lord Prios. I'm a little late this year, so I have some work to do. Prayonda asks us to arrive at noon. Would you like to join? We have a service then. It's important to honor the gods." And she looks at you, Elwene, and I need not tell you that.
No, not at all. Is there challenges within the village that are keeping folks from being able to contribute as they normally would?
She looks and kind of I know that we have been slow with it, but I know that Her Grace Prayonda, she twisted her ankle as well, though, and she couldn't come to the oath-binding days, and that's partly why we are late with the tithing. She wasn't unable to attend.
Partly why? Is there anything else? Thanks. It's quite busy here. Like, I would think that you would have no problem, unless others weren't paying their tabs and such.
Would you give us each of you an empathy roll, please? And we'll make it challenging.
Yeah. Thalion's already considering leaving a little bag of coins behind the bar for her to find.
Okay.
I'm gonna spend a fate point on that.
Sure.
Because I make that roll.
Yeah.
Damn.
Too.
Oh, Garen's
Still failed it.
Yeah, Garen succeeded. Okay, but Garen, you picked up. Garen.
Oh, did I? Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah, you got a success. Oh, one
Nice.
success level. Like you had to spend some skill points there, but. Ooh. Okay.
17s, 18s, and 20.
This is the interesting thing that I think about the characters. Garen, like, you're a pretty good judge of character, which is neat because a lot of your stuff, a lot of your social skills are more like down to earth, kind of like fast talk and stuff like that, streetwise. You're also a pretty good judge of character because of that empathy.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. So, you know, when Elwene mentions that, you see a little bit of a slip in kind of the jovial, you know, matronly quality that she seems to exude to everyone else. And she says, I will be paying my tithe as well. We were simply late this year. Many things are going on.
Of course.
And I do need to prepare. Garen, she's lying.
Oh.
And she says, I have things to prepare, though. So, if you don't mind, please eat your fill. More, even. And she, you know, kind of smiles and chuckles and leaves and heads back into the kitchen where she has a dwarven woman who is assisting her with preparing food.
Yeah.
Garen, you're the only one who picked that up.
Right, but once she walks away, I will tell my friends.
What do you say?
There must be some trouble here with their tithe. She was not telling the truth there.
There was some talk about possible thieves in the community last night.
There was.
Well, I do have just enough arcane energy that if I need to scry on someone's thoughts, I could do so. But
We want to go see the Blessed of Prize. Perhaps she's be more forthcoming with.
Yes, I think it's worth speaking with her.
walk up to the temple and.
Yes, indeed, we need to see this priestess.
Yeah, it's probably because you guys slept so late. It's probably not long. So, do you think you'd skip breakfast or grab a couple of things from here and eat it on the way over, just to as a
Yeah.
Oh, for sure. Grab to go.
Some rye bread, some salami and bologna, and
There's that boar. Oh, there's a ton. Like gently smoked ham, boar, hard cured boar sausage, spicy mountain cheese, rye bread.
Show you a trick that I picked up in the tower. We'll make it the best sandwich imaginable.
Are there pickles and cheese? It sounds like a Manitoba social at about midnight.
Really? It's all like fucking thousands of dollars of cold cuts all set out. So if you choose, I
just
brought you
for
over
the
here.
lulls of it, I want to try to like wow Elwyn with my ability to prep food. Nope.
Unfortunately, it's you're getting your hands in a lot of stuff, and it's not a quick fail or anything like that, but yeah, it's not an impressive meal you've put together. But with if you guys do want to step out and make your way over to the Shrine of Prios beforehand, what you'll find there is the shrine is a small stone-paved public square with a large covered wooden shelter with some benches and a massive wooden table. The shrine itself consists of a solid, rather roomy chapel of the god Prios, and you can see as you make your way in, you're greeted by a handcrafted wooden statue of Prios edged by beautiful rays of sunlight and affixed above the arched entryway to the shrine. The short cloister is lined with paintings of some important saints of Prios, and the altar room is always bathed in light, and its large lead glass windows reveal richly decorated, brightly colored ornaments. Heavy wooden benches invite you to sit in silent contemplation. The altar itself is made from artfully carved Kosh rootwood and bears an impressive griffin statue. The griffin is the animal that symbolizes Prios. The chapel's small side room holds a small place of worship for the god Ingarim, who is also important to Koshans. We talked about that before. And there's a small bowl that holds incense. And it's about then when Prayonda, the Blessed One, who maintains the shrine, kind of comes out, and there is a look. You need not make a roll of empathy for this. There is a look of consternation on her face. She looks quite agitated. And here is Prayonda. Am I spelling that right? Yes. Okay. Prayonda looks like this, guys. And it's an urgent, faster than what someone would, would likely move through a shrine or a place that's holy. She comes out and she almost misses you at first, and then kind of is surprised to see you there, and she kind of looks you over. She sees you, Talion, with your staff, and obviously you're a mage. You've got the markings on your robe. And then she sees you, Elwene, and she kind of looks at your tabard, which has the, I think... Oh gosh, I can't remember what the marking, if it's a dragon.
Dragon or lion?
Yeah.
Well, I was just that. It's Rondra, it's a lioness.
Lioness, right. So you got a lioness on your thing. She recognizes, and she says, I'm sorry, Blessed One, Who are you?
I'm Elwene of Rondra, and the Lady of the Storm has put me in your path.
You see her hands are kind of shaking, like with emotion.
Yeah.
And she's being much ruder than what you would expect for someone in this circumstance.
Mm-hmm.
And I
think I'm going to say something under my breath because I have bad habit, self-talk.
Oh, okay. What do you say?
Like, um, typical of their kind or something like that.
Yeah, yeah. It's just- and she that kind of hits her, and she's like, and just blurts out, "It's been stolen."
I beg your pardon. What's been stolen?
The tithe box. The tithe box has been stolen
From where?
from the shrine itself.
You keep it. Perhaps we can help.
She says, well, the blasphemies never end. The tithe chest has been stolen along with everything in it. All the tithes that these good people have paid this year are gone. And she looks at you, Elwene, and she says, a great evil moves through Olden Bridge. And that probably is a good place to end the session.
No.
I'm kind of curious, how much was in the tithe box?
In the tithe box, I can actually tell you.
Yeah.
What was in the tithe box? Because I have this. C'est là. You want to read that out, John?
Yes. See inventory of the tithe chest. 1 protected figurine of Saint Eris de Mont gilded. 2 books filled with prayers to the Lord Prios, bound with gold. Tithe received 87 ducats, 678 silver halers, 2,442 halers, and 780 kreutzers in sum. Tithe payments in kind are used for the good of the village community and are listed separately. Temple intercession on behalf of the families Hillbridge and Goosebrink. Temple tax 18 ducats, 74 silver halers, 186 halers, 58 kreutzers in sum. Lump of metal fallen from the sky. That's interesting. Probably magical, found recently in Bommel via Prios' guidance.
The Bommel, you may remember, is the river.
Yeah.
That cuts through here. So that, guys, is where we leave our first session playing.
It's a lot of loot.
Dark Eye.
Well, a lot of interesting loot with this doll.
I want that star piece. It's probably important.
So incidentally, the Dark Eye draws its name from the illustration that's on the cover here. The Dark Eye is a specific kind of artifact that is fabricated from star metal. And it can have a wide variety of different extraordinary magical effects.
Well, it looks so good on the tip of my staff.
So, guys, that brings us to the end of the session. Unfortunately, we're out of time. What did you guys think of the Dark Eye for the first time?
I had an initial kind of like the rolling 3 dice thing to confirm skill checks. I'm like, there's so many different ways that can go wrong with depending on your dice rolling luck. But the skill points offset helps it a lot, so it kind of balances out. So I like it.
Mm-hmm.
I think if you use the difficulties too, it's like Warhammer Fantasy in the sense that if you just use the difficulty of challenging for everything, everyone's going to suck at everything they do. So you need to use, if there's stuff that's easy or very easy or whatever, you need to add those modifiers in so that you get the expected results, and not everything seems like it's a challenge for competent heroes.
And the rulebook made it pretty clear that there's no like chance for failure. There's not even a need to roll, so the GM will call for it if needed. So
Exactly.
I need to dig more into it because I like it. I just need to wrap my head around all the skills and.
Well, and we haven't talked about the magical ceremonies or the divine rituals as well, because there is like a much more slower, larger kind of things. And that's only in the core rulebook. There's a whole separate, like, 280-page magic book and a 280-page Gods of Aventuria book, too.
Jeez. Okay.
Dave, Jeff, what did you guys think?
Feels like a very deep game, and I think there's a lot of rewards for learning the system in this one and getting a feel for all the little rules and all the little techniques. Like, it's not just deep for no reason. It's deep with good reason to sort of get into it, into the crunch of it.
That's exactly what I thought coming away from it. It's like this with recent experience with Warhammer Fantasy. Like Warhammer Fantasy is one of those games where it just, to really learn the system, you got to put work in to really get there. I don't think this is as complicated as what Warhammer Fantasy is, just because there's 4 meta currencies in that game and whatnot too. But I think there's a similar payoff where like investing the time in learning some of these other things really can help for knowing not only just what your character can do, but also like learning about the world and learning about the I don't know. It's a very textured setting.
And
Dave?
just the. Oh, sorry.
Oh no, go ahead, John. Go ahead.
I was just gonna hark back to like the character creation, which we didn't even get into. All the options like come in preset blocks. You can build whatever you want. Like Ithalians, if I would have like leaned less on how many spells he has and more on other things, but it was good for what it was.
Mm-hmm.
So, sorry, Dave. Go ahead.
No, that's all right. So I sadly didn't get the time this week to even look at the book, even though you'd sent out the PDF, and I was like, so I came into the session literally having not even looked at my character, and I was like, initially it was a little, oh my god, this system is so different than all the other systems that we use. Then I'm like, no, actually it's not. I'm like, oh, okay, well, this one rolls a couple and more dice, and you can, like John said, offset with your skill points and things like that. But I thought it was fairly easy to get going on, though. Like once you started like rolling the dice and figuring out how things work, situational modifiers and stuff like that, it's relatively simple, like most RPGs, but it also has some cool game mechanics that came into play even in our first fight, which I thought was kind of interesting, like the pain mechanic, and the statuses that you have, conditions and that sort of thing. So yeah, I thought it's pretty fun so far, and kind of like this character, but you knew I'd like this character.
There have been times where we've been picking games and like having you asking you guys, or you guys have selected characters that are different from what you would normally play. I really wanted you to see what this game is like, and I wanted to see as well too, because this is the first time running it, to see what it's like when you're using something that you would normally be inclined to play anyway, right? And seeing that stuff was especially like the knowing how effective the pain thing was too. John, would you have cast different spells?
Well, no, I was trying to like do damage first to see, fill out the bear to see how sturdy it was.
Yeah.
But when I noticed it wasn't, it had a lot of hit points, and rolling was kind of iffy because the pain one used con, which is not a good stat for him. He has to roll a 9 or under in order to get that. So I was like, but once I saw it was getting beat down and the pain was kicking on, I was like, oh, we could take this out if I get it to level 4 pain. Let's try it. So. Oh,
nice. There was a thought of like trying to hit it to that incapacity.
Yeah, and then that 16 cost was huge, so I was trying not to. I didn't realize until afterwards, but yeah, that's his most expensive spell.
Yeah.
You can do that twice.
Game mechanics is going to make things differently next time. So while we might not, I might not be carrying a 2-handed falchion around, out because I know I need to draw it. It's like, okay, well, my first round of okay, I'm going to pull my damn sword, so I can have something to parry with and be able to defend myself. Which
wizard is.
Because in other games you pull it as a move action or it's a free action or whatever.
Yeah.
No, but yeah, wizard is never without his staff though. So walking stick.
Yeah. No, exactly. One of the things that I also really appealed to me about or appeals to me, I should say, about the game is that like while the adventure kind of starts you off with a big fight and then throws you into a fairly prosaic activity, right? Of like getting the sheep, and that gives you a chance to learn how cumulative skills work, but also to like come up with other role-playing ways to play on your with what you got. I think the adventure is designed for 4 or 5 characters too, so you fought that bear underhanded as well, or understaffed, I should say. But the combat stuff in it, the bear is a not insignificant adversary. Like just to give you a context for it, that had 60 life points.
Oh wow!
In contrast to what you guys have, and like if you were to face a bandit, for instance, a bandit would have 30 life points, and likely have a protection of 0, and only 1 action.
Well, healing is very different in this game too.
Yes.
Not 5e where you cast a bunch of spells and everybody's back to full and you just keep sauntering on. It's like, well, we got our butt shellacked and now we need bed rest.
Yeah. After fighting a bear, you need a week to recover. Sounds about right.
Yeah, and that's one of the things, like a lot of, because you're like every character is probably going to have other skills beyond combat. Like they separate them out for kind of a reason, because you're supposed to, the role playing isn't the game itself, or the adventures aren't about like just defeating things with combat and that's it. Many of the adventures I've got so far, they're all investigations. Like it's much more a matter of like you're hired to sort out a problem, or it's either there's going to be combat and whatnot because it is a fantasy RPG and there's some pretty fun combat rules, but you're kind of you're choosing when to be violent, and the adventure itself in a way kind of teaches the wrong. By opening with that fight, it almost kind of teaches the wrong lesson for what the game is intending to do, unless it's to be like, look, this is why combat is so fucking dangerous in this. And maybe that's it, right? Like maybe that's the intent of because it's designed to be a beginner GM, beginner player experience. Show you like, look, you can defeat things, but it's going to cost you, and you'll pay for it for a while, and then have you get that one big night to try and recover some stuff, and then. Some weird things are going on in Oldenbridge, so
yeah, like I can definitely tell going in. I just knew squishy. Don't get into a fight. You don't want to be in a fight. And then after the bear thing, I was like, yeah, I really don't want to be in a fight.
Yeah, and like in contrast to the bear, like if you had done as much damage with some of your spells on some of these humans, remember 2 levels of pain. Typically, most human adversaries are going to either surrender or they're going to flee.
The bear went into a frenzy.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Like the bear was just like a kind of an undefeated. Its chance of success with that willpower check is very remote because one of the skills it needs is just it's fucking awful, and it doesn't have a significant skill level in it. But no, it's I mean, I think that you guys did defeat them though, right? And like no one got critical hits on them. No one got Elwyn got pretty beat up, but like worst case scenario, you could have got that prayer off, right? Mm-hmm. And Garen, you've got a light crossbow as well too that you didn't make use of.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. If we were in some kind of a different fight, that would be interesting to try. Mm-hmm.
But yeah,
it's upon us, so
you're kind of there was very little else to do other than like, well, let's just let it get the girl, then we can run away. So.
Yeah,
to get the girl, an option.
I think Garen got his skill check on that animal lore because Elwyn was like, "Okay, well, bear's down. Let's roll. Let's run away or something." And then it's like, now we got a raging bear chasing us or terrorizing the neighborhood. So I think we didn't fail that role.
I had just enough time to clobber it in the head with my staff beforehand because I knew it was going to get back up.
Oh yeah, right. Yeah, because you would have known the spell would have been over.
Yeah, because it would only last a round. So before it gets back up, chunk. Probably what 5 hit points left, or 6 is what Jeff left it at. 5.
I think it had 3 left.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So it was. I mean, it was like a stiff breeze away from dying. No, it didn't. It had 7, I think, because it wasn't below 5. It hadn't hit the 4th level of or 4th pain level. You're the one who pushed it into the 4th.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
When I played it as Elwyn, didn't know that it was going to be down for just the round. So she's like, "Okay, it's down. Yeah. Let's go. Let's get out of here."
What's anything with Elwyn? Your high etiquette score is etiquette is what you use in like high society stuff. So like you can mix quite handily with more highfalutin people, whereas like Garen is more the seedier types that you'd be exploring with or chatting with.
Yeah, and stallions all the scholars that we'll come across.
Italian is a font of information. That was so cool. What a great way to give you information about tree dragons.
Oh, he's sold now. He has to find tree dragons. He wants that star medal, and he's got to find out who's stealing from this place.
So the way that adventures work in this is typically you get like XP at the end. It's called adventure points, and then you spend them, but you get a lot at the end of the adventure to be able to upload. So like would that I was running it on an ongoing basis, you would probably do what we do in Warhammer, where you just get like XP every session for it, and then you can spend it. But it's a pretty substantial amount. Like, even for short adventures, you're getting like 30 adventure points, which is enough for like a kick-ass advantage or special ability, or like leveling some skills up. I can't remember if stats go up. Stats tend to stay in kind of a certain range, but there's also neat, like, there's special abilities that modify how fate points work, that allow you to do different things with fate points.
Yeah, I think I remember some part of the book. I didn't like get all the way through it. Like, I stopped early before I got to combat.
Yeah.
But we were discussing leveling up. Like, there are ways to increase your stats, but they can't get above a certain amount without magical kind of manipulation. So
yeah.
So
awesome.
it was talking about rolling, below you can't roll below a 1 or anything, or above a 20. So you either automatically fail or succeed. So
yeah, like it feels like, especially if you're taking advantage of the what do you call it? The more graded difficulty, especially if you're gonna roll for stuff using those easy or whatever things. I think it one thing that Ingolf had said, because he's run a ton of this before, is that there aren't dump stats really, right? Like, you kind of have to be considering, you don't randomly generate your stats in this. You buy your stats at the level you want, and then you develop them up. But there aren't dump stats. You kind of have to decide what things you're going to be, what things you want to risk being not as good at, or do you want to, be well-rounded?
In character creation, it says all your stats start at 8, so 64 of your points have already been spent, so you need to boost them from there. And I was like, okay, that's cool. Mm-hmm. And then it gives you little rank charts depending on how many points you want to spend, to say, if you spend these many points, you can get one of these columns, and then that's what your stats are. So I'm like, that's handy.
It's really handy. Yeah, like it's a point generation system, so it's more complicated than D&D, obviously, and a lot of other games. It's not substantially more complicated than what Warhammer Fantasy is, or what, Hero or GURPS or whatever, which are very complicated character generation systems, but it's not the kind of thing you'd be doing all the time. You put that work in, you get the character done, and then you're making a decision to upgrade the character when you've got enough adventure points. So, yeah. Any closing thoughts, guys, before
we'll
wrap
play
it up?
again, for sure.
Yeah, I'm definitely going to run this again. Wave Graham was contemplating staying up till, getting up at 2 in the morning his time.
Oh my gosh.
That's a dedication.
Yeah. Then, for those listening at home, thank you so much for joining us for our maiden voyage with the Dark Eye. As is always the case, if you have any comments, questions, or concerns regarding the session, the game, or the adventure we're playing, please don't hesitate to leave a comment in the comment section down below, and I'll endeavor to reply in a timely fashion. There's also a link down below to the Dungeon Musings Discord server, where all of us are active, and we have channels dedicated to most of the campaigns and games we run on the channel on an ongoing basis. We have assorted games where we talk about other things like the Dark Eye, find a group, GM discussion, virtual tabletop chat, convention chat. There's a terrific community that has built up over the years over there, and you're more than welcome to join us over there. There's also a link down below to our friends at Noble Knight Games. Noble Knight Games is the preeminent unionized retailer of hard-to-find and out-of-print RPGs in North America, like the Dark Eye. I filled my collection of the Dark Eye using the discount code from Noble Knight. Noble Knight, if you make a purchase of $10 or more through their website, be sure to enter the code Happy Muse Year. It's in the description of the video. Easier to type than it is to say. And you will save yourself 10% on your purchase of any purchase of $10 or more. If they don't have something in stock you're looking for, you can put it in a want list, and they'll send you an email when it comes in. And they still have going on right now their free shipping for international things. So normally they have free shipping in the US after a certain threshold. They do have that for international shipping right now as well. So it varies by country. See what is appropriate for your country. But if you're looking to fill a bigger hole in a bigger collection, they have that in stock, it's a pretty handy way to do so and save yourself some money. Last thing I will say is a genuine huge thank you to our stalwart players. Jeff, John, and Dave, thank you so much for playing and giving Dark Eye a try. this game really, really got under my skin in the last couple of weeks, and I was pretty eager to get it to the table. And knowing how much time I would have to get things together, I really appreciate you guys giving me an opportunity to get this one to the table. I'm very impressed with what I've seen here so far, so I'm looking forward to playing some more.
Successfully got under my skin now.
Nice. And for those listening at home, we hope that we gave you a few hours to take your mind off the troubles of our world and think about the troubles that our heroes in Kosh, in Oldenbridge in specific, have encountered. And until we see you again, stay safe, stay healthy, and happy gaming.
Yeah.